That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Yeah.
3:21 in the Southland. Here we go.
Oh!
Beep-ba-da-boop. Do-da-da-da. Boo-ba-da-ba.
Sedano and Kap is on early for your combo plate on this Monday. Gosh, after like 3 days rest, my voice is finally sounding back to normal.
And you know what? It now makes sense. Because the circle of trust is filled with Mason and Ireland fans at this time because we're on. You know what I'm saying?
It is now safe to turn on your radio for entertainment, by the way.
No, stop. Don't do that.
We should have a sounder when I say that. Like when their show's done and this show begins, whether combo plate or not, we should have a sounder, DeAndre, when I say, it is now safe to turn on your radio for entertainment. Or entertainment, as they say at East Central.
Here's what I would say, because all the tweets are all mad at me for saying that, the gutty little Lakers. You're not the gutty little Lakers. You have 17 banners. Act like it, okay? Don't be upset that Anthony Davis didn't get a nomination, which, by the way, I said he should have been nominated. But I got like hombre triathlon here saying Miami fanboy energy, haters gonna hate. And I said this. Go to hell. How's that?
But you remember that guy is the guy that cried saying we deleted or we weren't responding to his tweets, remember?
Well, wait. I said go to hell. How's that for energy? I said AD should be there, but this Lakers persecution complex is silly. You're the crown jewel of sport. Act like it.
You're talking to my guy, hombre triathlon, like that, George. I think you should back off, okay? I think you just step back.
Well,
for
I'm
a
just
second
saying,
there,
like,
homeboy.
if you're gonna call me out, be ready because I'm gonna call you right back out.
But he doesn't. But when you respond to him, he gets annoyed. But when you don't respond, he takes screenshots of his tweet, retweets it, and says, "Oh, they're scared to comment." No, we just didn't see it because the algorithms sometimes in the communities are different. No, he's a whole piece of work, that hombre triathlon.
Yeah, well, listen, he's out there training hard, man. He's got to swim, he's got a bike, and he's got a long run ahead of him.
Do you think he's really running a triathlon? What happened?
I know we lost.
Hombre. Hombre.
Yeah. By the way, Marlene just tweeted in the
there
circle
we had to
of trust.
unplug it and plug
What's
it back
Marlene's
in.
story?
She says, crosstalk, just call it crossfire with a fire emoji. Sedano, don't get your boxers in a bunch. I wear boxer briefs,
Yeah,
Marlene.
Sedano's a boxer briefs guy.
Right,
Okay.
that's why
I
he's
need
so
the
uptight.
support.
Why do you think he's so uptight?
No,
Right.
it's not uptight. It's
Yeah,
you
it's
need
grab.
no, I need compression too.
Yeah, compression.
Well, so do I. I've got him, too.
Yeah, and by the way, Christian Gonzalez.
What's his problem?
He says, David Stern loved the Lakers so much he allowed CP3 to go the Lake. Oh, wait. Well, he didn't allow the Lakers to get. Listen, I don't know. I don't remember exactly why David Stern didn't let that happen. And yeah, you probably got screwed on that one. What do you want me to do? But it doesn't change. It doesn't change the fact, by the way,
do something,
that David Stern on the record. I mean, to have the gall, the unmitigated gall, which I loved about him, because the thing about David Stern, he's my favorite commissioner of all time because you always knew where you stood with him, for better or worse. He said it on the record. The greatest finals of all time would be Lakers versus Lakers. So stop crying about Chris Paul when clearly, you can. Look, there was a referee scandal, okay, around one of your series. Let's relax a little bit is all I'm saying. And you're still the team that gets to the free throw line more than anyone. So what are we complaining about here? What are we talking about here? Are you guys just deflecting because you're losing to the defending NBA champions right now? Is that what's got your panties in a bunch out there in Southern California? And you're attacking me because you're taking out on me because your team is not coming out like they should? That's not my problem. That's their problem.
Wow.
It's nice to sit this close.
Rack him. Yeah.
It's nice to sit this close to greatness on a Monday afternoon.
Rack that guy. Rack him, why don't you? Give it to him. Hey, let me tell you something. I'll be the first guy to tell you I don't think Anthony Davis belongs in the top 3 when it comes to defensive MVP and defensive player of the year. You'll have to excuse me, AD. And, George, don't send me to – listen, you've already told somebody to go to hell here today on Twitter. Don't send me to Terminal H, okay? If you're the best defensive player – or one of the top 3 defensive best players in the Western Conference or in the entire league, and you are pushed around and manhandled by what you have told me are bigger, stronger centers in the Western Conference, if you can't beat Sacramento because their center can push you around, if you don't even defend on Jokic, they put Rui all over Jokic. They don't even waste their time by putting Anthony Davis on Jokic. If you're not going to defend against the best centers in the West and they push you around, sorry, pal, you're not the best player.
I mean, Yusuf Nurkic pushed him around this year.
Well, there's 3.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? And he's not like some bastion of offensive stability,
He's not a bastion of offensive stability?
He's not.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So
I mean, a lot of guys, I will describe certain players as bastions of offensive stability.
Yeah.
He ain't one of them.
Yeah. By the way,
right
Omar Lopez
Oh, no, don't. Please tell me don't. Don't do that to him because you don't know with Omar.
Hey, I love his socks. He agrees
I know.
with the
He's
socks.
got great socks.
No,
He
he
has
actually
Scarface
agrees
socks.
with me.
What'd he say?
He says, who gives a flying F about Defensive Player of the Year? It's about
Right.
chips.
Right.
Stupid take. At Sedano. Send them all to Terminal H.
Right.
We have plenty of room here.
Yeah. He's there.
So if we say that about Defensive Player of the Year, can we also say that about when everybody was making a big deal? LeBron's got a higher three-point percentage than Steph this season. How'd that work out?
Well, he's not a better shooter than Steph, though.
but
Wait. I want to get into in the next segment.
Yeah.
Lindsay's take on the quote-unquote the switch.
Oh, please, the switch. As soon as Lindsay sent the switch
The
text,
switch is real.
That is true. Once
Dude.
you
You
said
kind of
that,
jinxed it, though. You jinxed
Dude.
it. You jinxed it.
No,
You
no,
did.
no, I don't think
Yes,
I
you
did.
did.
I
You
think
jinxed it.
You did.
You sent the
Well,
switch. I'm going to
Right.
explain to
We-
people
yeah, we
what
can talk
Lindsay
about
did in
that.
the chat.
We can talk about that.
She in the next segment we will explain. Lindsay was all feeling good when they were up 12. She was feeling good.
Hey, I still am.
Because
No, you're not.
she was.
I
I can imagine her at her house strutting, just like sending the switch gif in our group text.
I told them.
Yeah,
You
I
still
told
agree
them.
with guest of the show Nick Lakers in 6?
Yeah. Actually, I said Lakers in 7. I did say
Okay, Lakers in 7. You still feel good about that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well,
LeBron is usually 50-50 in game ones. Just saying.
okay. Well, let's get into the switch text on the other side.
But on Friday, we didn't do something that we love to do for our partner,
didn't we
Waba
do?
Grill. The great friends at Waba Grill. And I'm blaming this on Cappy
Okay.
because there was no Sedano. So Cappy
Yeah.
was so, again, we talk about the A-B thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Cappy was the A.
Right.
He's one of the worst A's we've ever had at the station.
Right.
He gets overwhelmed.
Right.
He overwhelms producer Lindsay and producer DeAndre, who have to worry about producing a show with a weak A.
Okay.
And we don't do the Waba Grill pop quiz.
Okay.
So that somebody could win dinner from our friends at Waba Grill, home of the Boom Boom Bam tacos.
That's exactly
so
what
today
happened.
we're going to do a bonus Waba Grill pop quiz, and that's coming up before 5:30 when we go to the Toyota Lakers countdown and tip off. But here's the thing: the pop quiz will be on last week's content of Sedano
Oh, my
Kap.
God. Are you serious?
Yes.
Well, we haven't had this week's content other than me yelling at the audience
So that's coming up
and the switch.
this afternoon.
Just to mention though,
But coming up next, we're going to
like a-
talk about the switch.
the
We need
switch
a
also
switch.
was in
We
last
need a
week's
sounder
contest.
for the
We need a
switch.
sounder.
Needs to be a switch
Right.
sounder.
There should be a switch sound effect. Lights on, lights off.
Oh no, I think it should be more like it's alive, like Frankenstein.
Like a switch, like you mean like a large switch?
Yeah,
is
like
what you're saying.
Oh,
Frankenstein.
yeah.
Like, like the opening up of a switchblade. How about that? You know that
No,
sound
no,
when
no,
you
no.
open up a switchblade?
No,
Like when we turn the
You know,
transmitter
when
back
you
on after
carry
Mason
it?
in Ireland.
Wow.
Speaking of turning the switch on, you know who always turns the switch on?
Who dat?
Jacob Emrani.
Oh, yes, he does. My guy, Jacob. Listen, you get into an accident, it's very simple. Just call Jacob, 844-24-JACOB. And look, Jacob, right now, he's got to be feeling it. He's a big Laker fan. He's got to be feeling like this one was a tough one for sure for him. But here's the deal. He's always got you covered, okay? Regardless of what kind of accident. Let's say you're in the back seat of an Uber or Lyft and you get into an accident. It's completely different than a normal wreck. Well, your driver's covered by Uber or Lyft, so not only are you dealing with the other person's insurance, you need to speak with the rideshare company's insurance as well. You don't want to deal with this on your own. Trust me. So when you get into this accident, whether it's in a car of your own, an Uber, a Lyft, you call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. He's an expert, okay? Especially when it comes to these Uber and Lyft cases. He's been doing them for years, well before all these other people started doing them recently. So he's the man when it comes to this stuff. So if you're injured in any type of rideshare accident, don't wait. There's one name to remember. Call Jacob. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Guys, a lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. You call Jacob, he'll win for you. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com. The Switch is next.
That's a date. Sedano and Cappy in the combo
Oh,
play.
to the beat of the rhythm of the night, dancing to the morning light. Forget about the world is on your side. You can leave them all behind. Leave them all behind, Lakers fans. What do you care about Anthony Davis's depoy? Like, seriously.
On this day in 1985.
D-point?
Got
Yeah.
the depoy.
Depoy.
Wow,
I thought he said
called it
depoy.
D-point.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that was something I read about once. But anyway,
Defensive Player of the Year, Depoy.
I know,
this-
but the way you said it.
on this day in 1985, the number one R&B song, DeBarge, Rhythm of the Night. You know this one, Producer D?
I do not.
No,
How could
yeah,
Big
you're
D
too
not
young.
know about the
But your
bar?
parents absolutely know about
for
this.
sure.
Oh,
But see,
for
how
sure.
D is going to educate us with his 6:15, although at some point we'll do it earlier today because we got a combo plate. You're going to educate us on the new joints.
I got you.
But we also had to educate you on the classics, like this one.
Yeah.
Pot it up, D. Here comes
Come
the
on
hook.
now.
How?
To the beat of the rhythm of the night.
Get it.
Dancing
Get
to
it.
the morning
Yeah.
light.
Shake
Forget
it.
about the world is on
Oh,
your
yeah,
mind.
nice.
You can leave them all behind.
Also, happy Passover.
Oh,
Hey,
to our
Pesach.
Jewish friends.
Pesach.
Yeah,
to
Not
our
to
Jewish
man,
friends in
to
the
all my
audience.
people. Yeah.
Cappy, are you celebrating?
I am celebrating.
Now, is this a celebratory one?
Yeah,
Well,
this is
none of them are really celebratory.
Well, no, but in this one, let me just say this: that you know,
They
I
had a
have
lot
to-
of grief and
I
guilt.
only ask because
Right.
I'm not familiar with all.
Well,
I
I'm
know
gonna-
Yom Kippur is definitely not.
No,
It's
Yom
the highest of high
Kippur
holy
is-
days.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yom Kippur is like, hey, I'm miserable, and I'm going to be miserable for a day, but then everything's going to be great.
But
This
Passover,
one-
I feel like is pleasant.
Passover is the story for anybody that's ever seen the movie The Ten Commandments. I had to recap it this weekend for Rachel.
Oh.
I was like, listen, because when you're not dating a Jewish woman, even though I've already been married to one, I have 4 Jewish kids. Now I'm past that whole thing. So now you go the other direction, right? So I had to explain to her. What the story of Passover is. And I'm like, well, Moses was originally Egyptian, and then once Moses found out that he was a Hebrewite, he went to the pharaohs and he said, "Hey, let my people go."
Yeah.
Right. So then the pharaohs were like, "No." So then Moses said, "Well, guess what? God is going to wreak havoc here in Egypt." And the Egyptians were like, "Yeah, God, ha ha ha." And then the next thing you know, Moses takes his staff, he puts it into the water, into the river, and it turns to blood. And he tells him, dude, I'm coming with a vengeance. And then he did. He started turning water into blood. He started having frogs everywhere. There were all these plagues that
I
happened.
thought it was water into wine.
No,
Oh,
water
that's
into
Jesus.
blood.
That's
Oh,
Jesus
okay.
did that.
Different,
My bad,
that's
my bad.
Jesus. This
That
is
was in
Moses.
the other book, the
My
New
bad.
Testament.
Yeah,
Different
whole
person.
different testament.
Yeah,
different
different
version,
person.
Lindsay Baseman.
Lindsay, you and I and George and DeAndre, we like that testament.
Right.
Cappy's people, not so much.
This is right. This is
Got
a
it.
different testament, right? So anyway, long story short, Moses says, we got to let my people go. And the Pharaohs say no. So then ultimately he said, hey, I'll tell you right now, we're going to take your firstborn. And they did. And that's when Moses and the Hebrewites left Egypt. And you remember the famous scene where Moses is standing there at the Red Sea, and here come the
Parts it.
Egyptians
Yep.
chasing after them, right? And Moses takes the staff, he puts it in the Red Sea parts, everybody goes walking in, and then as the Egyptians come to chase them, that's when the Red Sea closes. I mean, haven't you been to Universal, people?
Was the Red Sea blood?
No, the Red Sea was water at this time.
Oh,
At this
okay.
time. But
It's
then all
very
the Egyptians
confusing.
drowned.
Okay, it's very confusing.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't.
Anyway, I wouldn't have said Happy Passover if all that was coming because
Well,
we wanted
that's
to get
an
to the
important
sweet.
part
it
of
was
the
very
story.
educational.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. Thank you, Cappy.
But tonight's not the one where you blow the shofar. That's
No,
Rosh Hashanah.
No, that's a whole different thing.
Well, Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, no?
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. This
Yeah.
is a whole different deal. Tonight we are going to celebrate with matzah. You
Matzah.
guys want to eat some matzah?
I sent you a picture of some matzah in at the grocery store the other day.
And the reason that we eat matzah, just so you know, Big D, is because when the Hebrewites left Egypt and they were running through the desert, okay, they went to make bread, but the bread didn't rise. So that's why we eat unleavened bread during this period
Why
of time.
didn't the bread rise?
I guess
That's
because
a
the
whole-
ovens weren't hot enough to get the bread to rise.
weren't
I don't
they
know
hot
about
enough?
baking. I'm not a baking
It's a
expert.
whole thing.
You know, I'm
I
not
thought it
Guy
was that they
Fieri.
didn't have ovens.
I mean, so when is Rosh Hashanah?
September.
I got to. Hey, thanks for telling me because I got to look at my calendar.
Because that's the one where I have to say Lashana Tova, right?
Yeah. It's
see.
always around my birthday. That's why I know.
Oh, nice.
There you go. All
Well,
right.
for everybody that's celebrating tonight, have a great Passover. Have a great Seder.
Yeah. Anyway, Cappy,
Yes.
let's talk about the Switch. Lindsay, so I'm on. Wow, that was loud.
That was amazing.
Switch!
It is a switch.
I think our eardrums just switched
It was
off.
just startling. Is all
Is
I'll
it
say.
too loud?
Initially startling, yes.
I think people thought they were electrocuted.
Sorry. Well, you
No, I
were.
like the sound effect. It
That's
just
great
came in.
sound
It
effect,
came
yeah.
in strong.
You were electrocuted by LeBron's switch.
So I am. So let's just say this. I'm done with my game in Minnesota, right? and I am racing to the airport, all right? And thank God the runner got me and Mark Jones there in time. We get on the plane. We're good to go, right? So we're sitting there. Knicks game is on. We're finishing watching that one on the flight. Lakers game starts 30 minutes later. So I watched the entire game on the flight, okay? Did you just say TNT?
Right, well, because I know that the game is coming on, but I guess I got an hour. So
Did you just tell somebody TNT?
No, he's
remote.
remote. Yeah, you haven't been here for this bit? He talks to his remote and just puts it on.
He goes, Amazon Prime.
You've never been here for that bit?
Wait a minute. Oh, you realized you were on the radio when you did that.
Yeah, but you've never heard him do that on the radio? He does it all the time.
all the time.
He'll go, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I can't believe you've never heard
I don't know
that.
how I missed this.
Yeah, I mean, literally. It started during the football season.
Yeah,
so
so
you're running to the airport.
Peacock.
You're running to the airport like OJ.
Right,
Go
so
ahead.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
So I'm on the flight and I'm watching the entire game. And while the game is going on, about like midway through the second quarter, I look at my phone and there is a text from Lindsay in our group chat. And it's a picture of what looks like, I don't know, like...
It was Nosferatu, which there is meaning behind that as well.
What's Nosferatu?
Nosferatu's like the vampire guy.
Come on, you don't know Nosferatu?
No, I'm not familiar with him.
So and then he's
must be in the other,
he's
version of
flipping
the Bible.
he's flipping a switch, right? And remember last week she had said, "Oh, you'll see LeBron's going to flip a switch."
Which he did.
It's going to be a switch flipping and then they're going to take out the Nuggets and you'll see cuz LeBron's flipping the switch cuz LeBron was dinged up last year and AD was dinged up last. And I said, "Okay."
Yeah, we all convince ourselves of that.
And I
I
not
still
me.
think that.
Not
I still
me.
think that.
No, I did not convince myself of that. I said, "Well, we'll see what the switch is like because I don't know if the switch is going to work against this team." So in the first half, his switch was flipped. 19 points. He looked like the LeBron of old. Okay?
That big three at the end of the second quarter.
Right, huge three because the game was tied. So it was a huge three going into the half. Like, so you figured, some momentum after they had dwindled the lead down to, to a tie. So I see this and I'm waiting, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm waiting patiently because I knew what was coming, okay? I'm watching this game and I'm like, it's only a matter of time. And then in the third quarter, the Nuggets
You're
came
just
out.
waiting for them to fail?
Well, I knew what was happening.
He's waiting for LeBron to show his age.
No,
He
less
didn't
about
even
that.
show his age. I think what I said was D'Lo forgot to pay the electric bill.
Okay, wait. So the Lakers, the Nuggets come in and just like plow through them in the third quarter.
Like Mr. Plow.
I mean, just like going through them, like nothing, okay? And so the third quarter ends, and by the way, there was also a stretch at the end of that third quarter, or maybe early in the fourth, where Jokic is sitting, because LeBron, I'll give Darvin credit. LeBron, he sat LeBron whenever Jokic was out, which is the absolute smart move to make, okay? And he kept AD in there in a number of those cases. So so the end of that stretch, late in the third, maybe early in the fourth, the Lakers lead, or the Nuggets lead was like 10 or something like that, and then it went up to like 15. And they showed a picture of LeBron as Darvin calls timeout. And LeBron is like staring into space. And I look over at Mark Jones, who's sitting next to me on this flight, and I said, he knows they're toast. Like, he knows they're not winning this game today.
Right. So at that point,
And then that's when I text,
turned the switch
what
off.
happened to the switch?
I said he turned it off.
Oh, yeah.
Because, in my opinion, if you're LeBron and you only have so much energy and you've only got so much to work with, once you realize the game is that far gone and there's no coming back, I feel like you kind of take
Well, they
the foot
did
off
come
the
back.
gas a
They
little.
did come back. He came back in, and they cut it
Right.
to like 7, I want to say,
Right.
maybe 5. But then Denver did what they do, which
Right.
is at the end of games, they're just like, oh, you think you're going to win? Oh, that's cute, because we're going to out-execute
Well,
Wait,
the
don't
Lakers
you
didn't
guys-
help matters
Then they
much
turned
because
their switch on.
Don't you guys
the
remember-
turnovers,
The switch
lack
was
of
turned on.
rebounding.
No, that's a great point. The switch was turned on. It was turned on by the defending champion.
But wait, time out. Don't you guys remember last year when even Brian Windhorst was like, LeBron is kind of like picking his spots because he doesn't want to
You guys
You don't think
are
that
just-
once he's on
Yeah,
the
he
game
was picking his spots against teams they were clearly better than.
You're right, but I
But
honestly think
remember he did use. Okay, I remember this conversation last year before Game 4 of that series, and you were like, "LeBron, this is the game. He's going to do it," and he was incredible for a half.
but it still wasn't enough.
Correct.
Here's what the deal is, and I've kind of figured this out, and here's the analogy. Remember how I told you guys 2 weeks ago during the Masters that I thought Tiger Woods could still win the
Right,
Masters?
and then he was
everybody
like
laughed at
plus
me?
Yeah, that's not
16.
the same thing. That's
No,
not the same
it's
thing.
exactly the same
no,
thing.
it's not even
well,
close.
here, I'm going to explain it to you, and just hear me out, okay? So I look at Mike Tyson right now. You see these videos of Mike Tyson?
Fighting Jake Paul, right? Yeah.
Right, and he's ripped, and he's lean, and he looks fast, and he looks powerful, and I'm like, look, there's Mike Tyson. He's going to start killing people again. But he's not.
Crazy? You're comparing Mike Tyson at 70 years old to LeBron?
57, but
So
who's counting?
first of all, I'm not crazy. I'm about to make a brilliant analogy here.
All right, let's hear
Open
it.
your mind and be flexible, okay? Here goes. You have a guy like Tyson who looks the way he looks, and those of us, we just see him punching a guy who's a trainer, and we go, look, he looks so powerful. He looks so good. He's going to be able to do it all over again. He can't. Tiger Woods, he's got on the red shirt. He's got on the black pants. He's got on the hat. He looks great. You're like, there's Tiger Woods. And then you realize that now, pushing 50 years old, Tiger Woods doesn't have it. It's exactly the same thing.
I got to give him credit. I see where he's going.
LeBron at 39 is not LeBron at 29.
Yes. It is precisely the same. Here's what LeBron can do,
I just don't
Lindsay.
think that's like
but here's
Tiger
what LeBron
Woods
can do.
5 years ago.
No, but here's what LeBron can do. LeBron can be awesome. LeBron can be brilliant. And LeBron can carry a team. But he can't do it for the long term anymore the way he used to be able to do it.
Correct.
He used to be able to put a bunch of scrubs on his shoulders and go win a championship. He can't do that anymore.
I don't
so
disagree
just
with
like,
that.
Just like Tiger and just like a guy like Tyson, two guys that every time I saw them golf or fight, I thought they're easily going to win. Same thing I thought about LeBron. That's what you think about LeBron. But you realize that the situation is, it is a young man's game, and LeBron's an old man playing it.
And let me offer this to Cap's point as a Tiger guy. For years, it's been, well, if he could just get truly healthy, if he could just play a full 4 days. We just saw that. He can't do it. He can play, but he can't win.
No, I think he
can't
could.
win.
I think he took his foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. You don't think that?
And I don't think LeBron
No,
can
I
do
think
it
LeBron
anymore.
had no gas in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was done.
Did you see AD? AD
I think they were both out of gas.
Well, AD, yes.
Totally done.
AD needs some conditioning. I'm sorry, but
you're trying. He's got a 280-pound man on his back,
throwing him around like a rag doll.
Not to mention, you're in the altitude where you have no adjustment time of any kind.
Well, now you threw in the altitude.
Well,
no, Cappy loves the altitude.
We heard that
he
last
loves
week.
altitude
about
talk.
that.
Let me ask you a question.
Hashtag altitude talk.
Why at the end of a game?
You're right. You're right.
For a guy who needs to work on his
quick
conditioning,
turnaround.
When you've got your hands on your knees, when a play is going on around you,
and
that tells you
and
what
that
you
play
need
was
to
the
know.
game, by the way. In the fourth quarter.
That was right
That was
there.
it.
You saw Jokic running back, and AD literally just had his hands on his knees, and I was like, oh, that's it.
And
That's called
Jokic
altitude.
blew by LeBron. That tells you
He
LeBron
did.
was done.
He did, and I'm saying I'm not. I think it's a little bit different because I don't think, to your point, Cappy, I don't think he can carry a team like the entire game. I think that if he had a little bit more from the other guys, if he had more out of D'Lo, if he had more out of Rui, if he had more out of Austin Reeves,
Sure.
I think they could have got to the finish line to the point where he didn't need to keep the switch on all four quarters.
Okay, sure. Those are all fair points, but I think that there are two things at play here when the Lakers play in this matchup that were completely against them. We'll talk about that on the other side. But first, Cappy, tell the gentlemen out there how they can make some money at the California Cryo Bank.
Well, not only making money, and that's an important part of all of this, but also you can help families live out their dreams. I mean, there are certain families out there that desperately would love to have children, but for whatever reason, they just can't produce kids. You know, like for some people, it's a very easy thing. You do it and you make kids. Other people, like you do it and it doesn't happen. So what the California Cryobank is looking for is they're looking for healthy young men between the ages of 19 and 38 years old. You obviously need to be able to work legally in the United States. That's an important part of all of this. And if you're healthy and young and you can work in the U.S., you have the opportunity to possibly make up to $1,500 a month, but you have to apply. It's not some guarantee. It's not an automatic, okay? You can't walk in and go, I'm 35, I'm healthy, and I can work in the United States, so pay me. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to apply. Go to spermbank.com, SPERM, I just say on the radio, spermbank.com. You can earn up to $1,500 a month. You can help families live out their dreams, and the California Cryobank is looking for you, young fellas.
The most followed
9 minutes in front of 4 o'clock. Sedano and Cappy.
Let's
Combo
go.
play.
Yeah.
Oh, that crazy unite.
You know, this artist, Kid Cudi, you guys familiar with this guy?
I'm familiar with him. Actually, I think LZ got into a brawl with him when I was in the
he
morning show
really?
one time on Twitter.
Is this
Why?
an OTD or are we just playing it?
We're just playing it because of
beautiful.
Coachella. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
nice.
because, you know, I was jamming out to some Kid Cudi this morning.
Oh,
One
you
of my
were.
favorite songs. Yes, I was, DeAndre. Yes, I was.
Oh, because you were doing
Big
like
D.
the bicycle thing.
Yeah, I was doing Peloton.
That, yeah.
Alex Toussaint, Club Bangers.
Right.
Okay.
You know, Kid Cudi with Pharrell.
Oh, by the way, do you have the Peloton shoes, the official ones?
Yeah.
Or do you have like the Amazon version?
No, I got the official
I
one.
gotta order my shoes for
What
the
size you wear?
12.
He probably
Oh,
knows
'cause
the
I got
guy,
an extra.
you know?
I got an extra.
Yeah.
I got an extra pair, but they're elms.
They fell
Oh
off the
yeah,
truck.
that'll be too snug for me. Mm-hmm. I need 12s.
Yeah, you gotten on the Peloton, huh?
Well, I got it now in my garage.
Nice. Very nice. Well, then I got to get you to start giving. First, I need your name on Peloton
No.
so I can monitor your
No,
workouts.
that's not happening.
Yes, it is.
No.
I'm going to start monitoring your workouts,
you,
and then
you are not a trustworthy person to have
We're
in my
gonna-
life anymore.
we are going to start doing Alex Toussaint Club Bangers rides together.
No,
That's so 2020, Cap.
No, it's not.
What bangers is?
I enjoyed our time of working out together, and I
Mm-hmm.
choose not to work out with you anymore.
Okay.
It was just too much. It was too much gossip from you.
Although
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cappy is into. I feel like Cappy would have gone to Coachella if he had a chance. You know, Damian Lillard was lamenting that he had to actually go to Coachella last year, which DeAndre's already shaking his head. I said that in our group chat, and DeAndre's like, "Why is Coachella catching strays, man?" So Dame, who had an incredible game yesterday, they were underdogs, I believe, going into that game yesterday, even at home without Giannis, and they came out and they blew the doors off of a young Indiana team. And then in the post game, this is what Dame said about being back in the playoffs.
The last 2 years not being in the playoffs, it was, it sucked. I was early vacations. Last year I went to Coachella. Like, I ain't never been able to go to Coachella. Like, it's just playing in the playoffs every year. So just having that long summer, it was like, man, I was over that.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, I don't know who the headliners were at Coachella. Big D, were you out there?
I wasn't out there last year, but the headliners, I remember, I believe it was Bad Bunny was one of the headliners last
All
year.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
Did you go
Dame
this
went to a good one apparently.
he did. I get where he's coming from.
He wants to be
Obviously
playing in the
yeah,
playoffs.
I
He
get where
wants
he's coming from.
Dame time, dog.
Right.
But you understand the team that he had, at that moment. There's no way they're making the playoffs at that time.
Yeah. I was just happy to see Dame go off again because I feel like Giannis has been holding him back a little bit. That's just me personally.
For real?
I do.
Oh, really?
Oh, I don't think there's any question that the offense for them runs way better when it runs through Dame. Dame is when Giannis got the ball, he's like standing in the corner. That's not what you want Damian Lillard to do. You want Damian Lillard to do what Damian Lillard does.
Which
Dame
is what he
time.
did.
Dame time.
Exactly.
You want him to do what he does.
Giannis can be
And
the
then he
guy
did what he does.
who sets a screen and rolls to the basket and run in transition. That's what he does well. Let Dame cook, dog.
By the way, did you guys? I know you watched when you were in the air. Did you? I watched it on ESPN Plus. I think.
The Lakers game?
Yeah. Did you guys see it? Even like all the games with there's so many commercials with the really funny.
The Jokic one is fantastic with the
that
Minions.
that's my favorite. Do your kids like the Minions?
My daughter does. My little one doesn't know about the Minions, although he was kind of intrigued by the commercial.
I
Are there
love the
any other
commercial.
commercials that have Jokic in them? Because honestly,
Hotels.com is a good one.
Okay,
Him and Peyton
'cause-
Watson were in it.
Yeah, Hotels.com has a good, funny Jokic commercial. Jokic is funny in those
Do
commercials.
you want me
He
to
is
play
funny.
the Minions one? I have the Jokic Minions one real quick.
Yeah, you can play it if
Okay.
you got it.
Thought I look really good. That
Oh, wait,
day.
pause.
I put on
Stop
this
1 second. So he's going to a shrink, right? He's going
Yes,
to a psychologist, just
Mm-hmm.
to some context, and he's upset, and he's dressed like Gru from the Despicable Me movies, and so he's going to this psychologist, and here's the conversation.
Thought I look really good that day. I put on this beautiful suit that said I'm in business.
Like the one you're wearing?
Yes,
Then what happened?
they say I looked like Gru.
Why does that bother you?
It doesn't,
Then why bring it up?
because they won't leave me alone.
They?
he stands up and opens the window.
Guys, I'm not your boss.
Illumination's Despicable Me 4.
And
not
by
the
the way,
boss.
he showed up today at the arena dressed as Gru.
He's
No way.
The scarf and everything.
Boy, that is
Yeah.
so smart, man. That is such great marketing.
It
Whoever's
really
paying him,
is.
whatever studio.
That was that's Pixar, right?
yeah, they're
No,
paying him to
just
do that.
Despicable Me. What is
Freaking
Pixar?
brilliant.
I don't think it's Pixar, but
No,
no. But
Well, that's smart.
either way, like, still, I want to go see that movie. I mean, I probably would have watched it anyway, but you don't see him in that light ever. You know, like where he's
No, but the Hotels.com commercials are also
yeah.
funny.
And the Giannis commercial was pretty funny too. The one where he was.
The Starry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't like that one.
Down on Giannis.
Yeah.
There was a business one too where he was talking about.
Oh, that one is funny with the guy from the Google commercials,
Yes.
the Google Pixel commercials. I forget his name. He's like, God.
You mean the guy from the Google Pixel commercials?
Yes, his name.
Oh
escapes
gosh,
me.
what's that guy's name? Steve Stevenson, Jeff.
No,
Jefferson?
he's like a famous internet guy.
Mark Robinson.
Steve
Drewski.
Stevenson.
Drewski.
Yes.
Drewski.
Gosh, that's what was my next. That was the next thing. Hey, Big D, what happened to my boy Kid Cudi though this weekend out at Coachella? Something happened with him?
Man, so the last day of Coachella, which was yesterday, obviously, he was performing on the Sahara stage, which is one of the main stages. You got the Coachella stage, and then that one. Those are the two big main stages.
Mm-hmm.
And he was performing at 5:10. And remind you, in Coachella, these artists kind of switch in and out in between. So obviously they have this different like background and stuff like that to kind of make his performance more elusive. And that song I was just playing called Memories with him and David Guetta. He was performing that song. And there was a moment where the crowd was getting into it because that's one of his most popular songs. Mm-hmm. And he decided to, go ahead and take a jump off the stage into the ground to kind of interact with the fans. And as he was jumping off, he hurt his knee, and he had to get carried out of the venue.
Should we not be laughing at an injury? Like if an athlete gets hurt, we're like, hey, that's not funny. Don't laugh.
You're right.
But when a artist gets carried off,
he was kind of laughing at himself for it.
So he went on today. He put a tweet out like 3 hours ago and kind of explaining why he was doing that. He was just saying that, at my age of 40 years old, I got to learn, I can't do that. 20-year-old self me can do that, but 40-year-old, I can't do that anymore.
Stop, man.
To bring it all back around. Bring it all back
and
around.
So he went on, it's pretty much, cause he's going on tour right now. So he's actually performing out here at Crypto, I believe. So he's hoping to be healthy before.
D, should we go to the show, you and me?
I'm telling you right now, Kid Cudi, if we go, it'll be a good time.
All right. I mean, I need places to wear my Travis Scotts to.
Oh, I hear you.
You know,
You're gonna wear them to Coachella? They're gonna get dirty as hell.
No, not to
Cudi.
Coachella.
He's
Kid
on
Cudi
tour.
in the 710 suite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Friday, August 30th. Book it.
All
right, Big D.
Cappy, coming up next. We didn't get into the Lakers stuff, so there are two things that Laker fans need to know about this game today, and it's a big reason why they lost Game 1. Okay, but there are two things that are happening in this series that need to change somehow. We'll get to that. Stick around. 1 hour down, 90 minutes to go. 710 ESPN.
But first, coming up next, it's the Waba Grill Sedano Kap 4 p.m. hour on 710, presented by Waba Grill. Kids eat free at Waba Grill. Bring your kids in for a free chicken or tofu mini bowl with any entree purchase weekdays after 4. Restrictions apply.
You never have to miss a
Right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. It was kind of weird because you were here, but it was also playing there, so I...
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it was weird for a second. But anyway.
Take it away, pretty.
Thanks, guys. All right, so I think this is something that Sedano is probably going to embrace way more than Cappy. The time has come for Tom Brady to get roasted to a crisp on live TV. And this time, it won't be playing football. Haha. I guess I need myself a little...
Hey now.
Netflix announced earlier this morning that the former Patriots and Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback will be mercilessly mocked by an all-star lineup of athletes and comedians on the greatest roast of all time, Tom Brady. It's going to be broadcast live on Sunday, May 5th at 5 p.m. our time on Netflix. So, yeah, he's just going to get roasted old school style. And
Who are the comedians?
Yeah, that's what I need to know. Who's the lineup?
I know that Kevin Hart and Jeff Ross are going
well,
to
you gotta have
Jeff Ross. You got to have the roast master.
Hey, Jeff Ross, shout out to you, my brother.
On Passover.
Well, of course. Yeah. And listen, you know he's listening right now because...
He always listens.
Everybody does.
Right.
They haven't announced the rest, but they said there will be many special guests. So I'm sure it's going to be like all the star
Peyton
comedians
Manning's
will be out.
coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They'll write him some good jokes.
Peyton Manning could deliver them, too.
Yeah.
And come to find out, we're going to have tickets to give away to this next Thursday.
Oh, that is
No
awesome.
way.
We need to
Ticket
go to
Thursday.
this.
Oh, nice.
Really?
We need
Because
to
it's
go
at the
to
Kia
this.
Forum.
Wow.
Oh my God. Can we go?
Wow.
Cappy, let's go.
That
you
sounds
you
really
wanna go
cool.
see your
Oh, my
boyfriend.
God, Cappy, you would want to be there.
I would love to go. I would love to go. I got to go backstage, too.
Oh, here we go.
Got to say hello.
Who are you going to call for that one?
Let him know we're in the house.
Who are you going to call for that hookup?
I'll probably call Bob Kraft. You know?
Right.
Maybe your guy, Maz, will be there.
Maz Jobrani.
Maz Jobrani?
Yeah,
Maz
he's a
Jobrani
comedian.
should definitely be there. Maz Jobrani should definitely be roasting Tom Brady.
Maybe he will.
There you have it. That is what you need to know. Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Just the 90 minutes from wherever you are. So, Cappy, I do want to get to the Dodgers, too, because I don't want to, neglect the fact that they're also in, a tailspin at the moment. So we'll get to that in a second. Because Chris is going to love that conversation because of something I saw earlier today on television.
But they...
Nice
guy Dave?
Yeah, about him, Cappy's guy.
Dip.
So, here's the difference in this series, okay? And it's why when Lindsay wants to talk about flipping the switch, here's why that doesn't work in this series. Because, yes, normally, Linz, against normal teams, LeBron and AD can bully almost any team because they're bigger, they're stronger. That's not the case with this team. You got a 7-footer who weighs 285 pounds, okay? And then you've got Aaron Gordon, who is big, strong, athletic. He's got more athleticism at this stage than LeBron does. And that's not even mentioning Michael Porter Jr., who's not a great defender, but still a big, imposing figure. He's not like some small guy. But the other two, they can bully the Lakers in a way that the Lakers are used to bullying everyone else. And then the other part of the equation here is, and I think Crash Override kind of said this the best, we're literally at a point where we're relying on D'Lo. The season is relying on D'Angelo Russell. And yes, and this is why, Cappy, when he was playing so well during the regular season, I said, okay, that's cool, but let me see what happens and, past mid-April. Let me see how that looks, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Let me start off with D'Lo. So, first of all, obviously the numbers were not really very good on Saturday at all. 6 for 20 from the field, 1 for 9 from three-point range. Didn't hit that first three and the only three until way later in the game. And, yeah, you know what the problem is? It's not so much that you have LeBron and AD who you know what you're going to get from those guys. You're going to get max effort, and you're going to get a lot of points from those two guys. So what you have to find is, and this is, I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know, but hold on for a second. Whether it's D'Lo, Rui, or Austin Reeves, one of those three guys has to have a significant scoring performance. Rui scored 7, D'Lo scored 13, and Austin Reeves scored 13. 13's not going to do it. In other words, you got to have AD go for 32, LeBron go for 27, and somebody else has to be in the 22 to 25-ish kind of a range. We assume that should be D'Lo, but it wasn't. And obviously a terrible shooting performance. But you know what, George? I'm glad you mentioned the other names on the Nuggets because most of us really think about Jokic and Murray. You think about those two guys, they're the superstars of the Nuggets. But when you throw in Gordon, Porter, and even really KCP, honestly, just 5 for 5, straight up. Their 5, our 5, 5 for 5, straight up. 5 alive. They're better.
Oh, my God. It's not even close.
They're so much better.
Yeah.
And listen, You see, the problem is, and this is where we Laker fans, supporters, critics, observers, whatever you call yourself, you start to believe the hype. Down the stretch, they wind up winning. George, I don't remember what the exact numbers were. 14 of the last 20 or something like that. They put together a bunch of wins. They get lucky breaks here and there that got them into the play-in so that they were playing the 8 seed, right? They didn't have to, or whatever it was, they didn't have to play from the 10 seed. And so we start to buy it. And then remember, when they beat New Orleans to go from the play-in to the playoffs, remember, New Orleans had Zion, who was having the night of his life. He left the game with 3 minutes and change to go. That was it. Game, set, match. And the Lakers still just kind of barely won against New Orleans. And by the way, look at New Orleans. Look at the effort that they put up yesterday without Zion against Oklahoma City, the number 1 seed. So they can still be competitive without their best player. The Lakers have their best players, but they can't be competitive against this Denver team. Now, hopefully I'm wrong.
Well, look, it boils down to that. It's those 5 guys that start the game and end the game. And when those 5 guys are on the floor, they're just hard to beat. I don't know if there's any team that can beat them right now with those 5 guys. And again, they're not as deep as they were last year because at least, they had a super sub in Bruce Brown, right, who's not there this year. And even an older guy like Jeff Green because he was at least capable. I mean, DeAndre Jordan's out there giving them quality minutes the other night. When DeAndre Jordan was out there, okay, and, you and I love DeAndre Jordan because he engaged us in our push-up conversation when he was a Laker for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I saw him and I said, okay, this is the time they got to take advantage. And then I'm looking, I'm like, it's not happening. I'm like, how is this happening? So as the game ends, I'm in the car driving from my home away from home, as you know, LAX. And I'm driving home, from my home away from home to home, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to 710 ESPN and Andy Kamenetsky, who's doing the post-game show. And Andy's enduring all these calls, which I'll get to later. But he's playing the audio from the press conferences, okay? Which to me as a listener is what I want to hear, especially after a post-game, after a playoff game, okay? I want to hear what the players and coaches are talking about, okay? So Trudell with the Lakers generally on the road is going to get those first questions, unless Jim Hill's in the house. But Trudell's generally going to get those first questions. And look, Trudell is going to ask a very fair question about something that transpired during the game. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, yo, he's your team reporter. He's not playing gotcha, okay? And D'Angelo, gets, annoyed with Trudell about something that Trudell ended up being right about when he asked the question. And it just, it just made me think about all the things I've talked about with D'Angelo this year and the lack of maturity at times. I'm going to let you listen to the exchange.
Yeah, because I've not heard this. Let me take a listen. Let me analyze myself.
What did you see switch when after that timeout, Denver goes on the run, a couple turnovers, and did you feel like that carried through to the third quarter?
You said what switched?
In the game, like the way Denver was playing, or the game kind of flipped at that point after you were up 12?
Was Jokic in the game?
Reggie, yeah.
I don't think he was in the game. I just feel like we took advantage of him being off the floor. Simple as that.
So once he got back, then you feel like that got them back to doing what they do, and it was difficult for you?
Yeah, obviously.
I'm sure some of those looks you'd want to get back. Some rim out, some were open, and just graze off the rim. Just what did you make of your night overall, and how much would you put your 6 for 20 on you, just missing shots you know how to make versus what they were doing to you defensively?
Great looks. I mean, I can't be mad. I mean, I don't recall the last time I got 20 shots. So for me to get 20 good looks, not 20 good, probably 5 or 6 of them were questionable, but I know what I'm capable of. So honestly, I'm excited about that.
All right, so here let's start with this, okay?
Yeah, 'cause I'm a little confused about the first part of it. Let me ask you a quick question. You ready? So when you have Trudell asking him about what switched, what
right, like
happened,
when they went on their run, the Lakers went on their run,
and then D'Angelo, rather than saying giving an answer, he kind of just a little bit of tude, which is I'm going to put it back on you. Was Jokic on the floor? Was he or was he not on the floor?
He was on the floor. Mike was right.
Okay, so Trudell was saying, yes, he was on the floor, and D'Angelo was saying, I don't think he was?
Correct. So there's that. Okay. And then the second part of, with McMenamin, like he makes this comment of like, I don't remember the last time I had 20 shots. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, dude, like, what are you talking about? You had 20 shots 2 weeks ago. Literally, like 2.5 weeks ago, you shot 22 shots. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like, and by the way, the second last game of the season, you shot 19. So, like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are you trying to imply, that you're not getting enough looks when you're openly admitting that, you know, I thought they were all good shots except for like 5 or 6 of them. That's a quarter of your shots, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, the lack of self-awareness and maturity to me at this stage at times is still astonishing to me.
You know what it reminds me of? It's kind of like when two NFL teams play and the quarterback of a particular NFL team's not really that good, you know? So the defense says, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stack the box. We're going to not allow you to run. And then we're going to force you, Mr. We don't think you're a good quarterback. We're going to try and force you to beat us throwing the football. We don't think you can do it. It's as if Denver's defense was, hey, you know what? AD's going to get his points. We know it. LeBron's going to get his points. We understand that. You know what? We just can't let D'Lo. And so, you know, let him take as many shots as he wants because we think he's going to miss, like as if he's Russell Westbrook out there. You know, hey, don't defend him. Stay off him. Encourage him to shoot. That's a lot of shots to take when you're ice cold the way he was. People say, well, shooters shoot. Well, yeah, guess what? Klay Thompson's a shooter, and when he was 0 for 10, finally Steph Curry was like, hey, man, okay, that's kind of enough. Okay, I think that's kind of enough. And just D'Lo didn't have it. I still am confused, though, about Trudell's asking him the question, and D'Lo's got it wrong. Like, what?
Yes, Mike was right. Mike was right.
That Jokic was off the floor when they made
Mike
a run?
said that Jokic was on the floor. And
Okay.
D'Lo is saying, no, we made the run when he was off the floor. And
they
Mike
made
is
the run.
100% right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you did that. You made that run with Jokic playing.
Well, you talk about maturity. I'll just say this. If you're D'Angelo Russell, at this stage of the season, do you not know who Mike Trudell is?
Right.
Do you not know that he works for the team? Do you not know that he's trying to sugarcoat
I mean, he
his
has
question?
to know. He's one of Trudell's children. Like,
I mean-
you know, he's adopted children.
I mean, my goodness, bro. Like, help me out here. I mean, you can hear the way McMiniman is trying to ask the question.
Right, because he saw the interaction between him and Trudell.
Right.
He's like trying to like pacify the
Right.
situation.
Dave's like, hey, listen, I want to ask you about having a really bad shooting night, but I'm trying to make it so that it's not so critical sounding.
Right, because
You know?
clearly you're a little like
Perturbed.
annoyed. Right.
Very
Yeah.
annoyed.
All right, Cappy, coming up next,
Hmm.
I want to get to Coach Ham and some of the comments he made in the postgame. But before that, we got two things. We got to talk about these Dodgers because this thing is insane at this point now. And we're going to play Radio Tinder. So 4:45, back to Lakers. Promise, okay? So we'll get to that. Stick around, okay? This is the Waba Grill, Sedano Kap, 4 p.m. hour on 710 ESPN, presented by Waba Grill. Kids eat free. Be, at Waba Grill. Bring your kids for a free chicken or tofu mini bowl with any entree purchase weekdays after 4 p.m. Restrictions apply, okay? So we've got that. Stick around. Lots to talk about. Dodgers, Tinder, back to Lakers. Next, 710 ESPN.
On this day in 2003, the number one R&B song, Sean Paul, Get Busy. Cappy, get busy, yo.
You know I will.
By the way, we gonna get busy.
When?
It turns on and off.
Shake that thing, George.
It's not that. It's like there's a loose thingamajig in here.
You know, it must be that
Maybe.
switch.
You can't even move it on the base. You got to unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah. I love Sean Paul, though.
No, I
Shake
understand.
those shoulders, Georgie boy. Look
Just
at
give me
those.
the line.
Hope everybody's watching the YouTube show. That's a move I've not seen you do before.
That's a little shimmy.
Yeah, it was
It's a
nice.
shimmy.
Look at him go. Look at him. Ooh.
5:30, the Toyota Lakers countdown to tip-off with Sliwa. 7 p.m. Here, game 2. What?
5:30 p.m. with Sleep.
That's what I said.
Oh, 7 p.m. You mean the game. Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad.
My bad, y'all.
What did I say?
My bad.
Lakers
My bad,
Nuggets,
y'all.
game 2. Hear it on 7:10 a.m.
Jeez, don't get so
or in
worried.
crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Defensive. I was doing the shimmy.
All right. It's the Waba Grill, Sedano and Kap, 4 p.m. hour. By the way, we missed the quiz on Friday because Cappy was the A.
I mean, Cappy.
He's a
know, right?
horrific A.
God.
Right.
He's
Why
actually.
can't you be the A?
Why am I a horrific A, by the way? I mean,
Come
doesn't
on,
the
Cappy.
resume of 30 years speak for
I
itself?
saw that on
Why am I a
Twitter.
horrific A?
So people were going with the bit,
Yeah.
and it's not really a bit with me, but
Oh,
you know,
Right, I got you. Yeah.
And he's
It's
like,
a bit.
he writes to
Hey,
listeners
hold
on
on,
Twitter.
ready? It's a bit.
He used one that I've never even used.
Yeah, which is?
Resume speaks for itself.
Damn right
Oh,
it does, brother.
wow.
That's right.
Wow.
Well, you know why? Because Tim in the OC
Yeah.
says that Morales has said on the record
Yeah.
that Cappy is a horrific A.
I've said it
Well,
to
you
your
just
face.
said it to your face.
Right.
Yeah. And your
Well,
ear just now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. Just because you say it doesn't make it right. And in this particular case, you couldn't be more wrong.
But in this particular case, also,
Yeah.
my opinion might matter on that, though.
Nah, in this case, your opinion sucks.
But that doesn't matter. What my opinion could suck in your opinion.
Yeah.
But if I really wanted to push it, we could make sure you're not the A anymore.
Well, I'm not the A. I'm the B.
Right, but when Sedano's not here.
Okay, so who's
we
going to be
just-
the A?
We just let you play. If
Should we have-
Lindsay
should we
would
have-
be, Lindsay or DeAndre would be a better A, frankly.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that we should do that.
Okay, we could do
I
that.
in fact, next time that Sedano's not here, 1,000%.
You just get very wordy for no reason.
I will be the B.
Don't you agree, George?
I will be
Haven't
the
you
B.
ever watched the Cappy Cast?
I haven't, actually.
Well, Lindsay, go deeper. Go deeper than the Cappy Cast. I mean,
He's going to go back to his San Diego
go to
radio
20.
days. Yeah,
go to
I know.
20 year. Go to New York. Go to
New
wherever
York.
you want. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well,
resume
yeah,
speaks
different
for itself.
times, Captain.
Different
The
time.
resume speaks for itself.
Listen, for this show I'm talking about,
Yeah.
the Sedano and Cap extravaganza, 4 to
Yeah.
7 weekdays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People, and this is my whole point, people know Cappy as Cappy.
Right.
When you become the A, you become less Cappy and more trying to be
More
like
Scott Kaplan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, how
That's
dare.
all you. That's all we're saying.
That's it. That's all.
If
Well,
I need somebody
we
to
need you to like, you know how you always say like you can tell who is coming up to you based on how they address you in
Yep.
public.
Yep.
And like if it's Scott, it's your San Diego peeps.
Yep.
And if it's Cappy,
Yep.
it's your LA peeps.
Right.
Chris is saying less Scott, more Cappy.
Well, I'll tell you something. Saturday night, I was out I was seeing a band play, a buddy of mine's place.
The
and
Foos
this-
Fighters?
and- no, this is a different band, the Lost Prophets. And this buddy of mine, or this guy comes up to me, and he's wearing a Lakers hat, and he's like, Cappy. And I'm like, now that's weird, because we're here in San Diego, but he's calling me Cappy, which means he's a 710 listener. And you know what he said to me? Down with Mason in Ireland, up with Sedano and Cap.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be like that.
It
Wow.
doesn't.
Doesn't have to be like that. There was
well,
no
it's like I
reason
told
for
you
it.
that guy Xander who I met on my flight when I was taking my kids back home to Miami to see my mom for spring break, right? To my mom's. And the guys literally said to me, they said to Mateo, your dad and Cappy are awesome. They're the best on the station. And then Mateo looked at him like, okay, dude.
Okay.
What I was
All right, so
saying
wait, so
was-
I'm taking the blame.
trucks.
I'm taking the blame for the missed Waba Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're not a grade A, apparently.
So we didn't do the
Yeah.
pop quiz on Friday
Yeah.
afternoon, which means we're going to do it today. But the content is still last week's content. So the question will be around last week's content.
Yeah.
And if you win, you get dinner for your family from our friends at Waba Grill, home of the Boom Boom Tacos.
Excellent.
Boom Boom Bam!
Yeah. And by the way, Cappy, it isn't a competition between us and Mason and Ireland, but we do kind of try to make it a competition as we get closer to Mandy season. So there is that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Mason has no chance of being involved, not even nominated for Bid of the Year.
I mean, it's the entire thing is going to be us and Momo for her nut milk.
I know, and then everybody wants John to get in for Bid of the Year because of the whole thing with the ChatGPT love letter to
Yeah.
Lisa.
Plus
You know
the
what I
pie
mean?
eating contest, too.
Oh, the pie eating contest was
Well,
good.
Mason
That was
could get
true.
in on the pie.
But Greg won.
That's true. Right, but remember, the best part of the entire pie competition was asking Mace when was the last time he'd had pie like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he said college, which I thought was funny.
Yeah. Cappy, when was the last time the Dodgers won a
Keyline.
series?
When was the last time the Dodgers won a series?
Yeah.
It's been about, It's got to be like 2, 3, 4 series ago. I guess
Correct.
they played against
Well, it wasn't last year in the
Minnesota.
playoffs. I know that.
Four series ago, they have now dropped 3 straight. That's funny. 3 straight series the Dodgers have lost. And look, we talked about it, and it's early. I get it. It's still April, but there are some things that aren't looking so great. They're still in first place, a game ahead of those gutty little Padres. Okay, it has not looked like what most people envisioned to start. Is a fair assessment, I would say.
Well, at 13 and 11, and a couple of things stick out. First of all, people will talk about the bullpen. I would say get used to that conversation because that, I think, is going to be an ongoing conversation until perhaps you get to the trade deadline and they make some moves. I think the bullpen is a big concern. They give up a lot of runs.
Yep.
They give up a lot of walks. I think that's a legitimate concern. I would say that runners in scoring position and the lack of being able to drive in runs is a legitimate conversation to be having right now. And I guess, George, when you think about it, there's been a lot of money spent, and I'm not sure through the first, call it 24 games, everybody's ecstatic about where that money went.
Well, Ohtani's been great. I don't think there's any question about that. Mookie's been great. Freddie Freeman has been good, although has tailed off a little bit of late. All 3 of them were on fire, like historic levels to start the season. But, like Freddie's been okay, by his standards. He's been pretty good. So, but the rest of the bottom of that lineup is not good. Their defense, although Gavin Lux made a nice play Saturday or Sunday, one of these days. I'm trying to remember. Was it Saturday?
It was a game he played in over the weekend.
It was Saturday. He made a nice play.
Saturday.
But overall, their defense is not good. It's subpar. And you're right about the bullpen stuff. Like there's more holes on this team than I think people anticipated for sure.
You go back, though, to Friday night's game against the Mets, and you look at that game and you go, well, wait a second here. The amount of money that they spent on Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, they went out and got him, and I asked that question from the very beginning because I really don't have an answer.
Three hundo. Yeah.
The question I asked at the beginning is, how does it convert? Like if you take the best pitcher in Japan and you put him into Major League Baseball, what do we expect the same results that the guy got in Japan? I mean, I'll give him credit. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, gave up 3 earned runs, had 9 strikeouts. But once you got past Yamamoto, and by the way, 3 runs, 4 runs, that's not insurmountable when you have the offense that the Dodgers have. But when you give up that amount of runs and then you look at the rest of the bullpen and what they gave up, that's how it exploded from 4 to 9. You understand what I'm saying? Like he got through 6 innings, but he left with 4 runs on the board.
Yeah, I would say it's been a mixed bag. He had obviously a rough first start. Then he had a couple of good starts, and then after that he's been like average, is what I would say.
Put it this way: he's not exactly blowing your socks off. You know what I'm saying? Like
He is blowing some people's socks off because he's striking guys out, but he's also getting hit hard.
But he hasn't come over here, and I don't think that you would call him thus far dominant.
No.
So for what they spent and what they expected, and who knows what they might still ultimately get.
Right.
But thus far, through 24 games and probably 4 or 5 starts, I don't know the exact number, but whatever it is, through 3-4 starts, he's not been great.
No. And when you pay a guy $300 million, you expect it to be great. So there is a learning curve. I'm on that, but I don't know how much longer that learning curve will exist in regards to the patience. So
what was the difference between like him and Ohtani? Ohtani's rookie year, he was.
I have to look it up.
I know that he got rookie of the year, right? But I think that was.
I don't know. I didn't see what his
hitting.
pitching numbers are though.
Yeah,
right?
I only saw his hitting, and I haven't. I don't know. I feel like he had a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, hold on.
Actually, it's not a bad call. Go back and look at Ohtani's first 5 games as a pitcher.
Ohtani, hold on. I'd have to look at the game logs. Hold on. Let me see.
First 5 games for Ohtani as a pitcher versus first 5 games for Yamamoto as a pitcher.
Hold on. 2018.
By the way, Ohtani is such a monster. Like when he hits a home run and he rounds first base, and you see how gigantic his shoulders and his chest are.
Yeah.
You're like, look at this. I don't know why I never realized how gigantic he was with the Angels.
Yeah, he's humongous. Lindsay and Cappy, great point. Shohei Ohtani. Why'd you laugh?
Because of how you said it.
It was a great point.
But you said it in a way like of transition, though.
Yeah.
You didn't have to stop down. I didn't do it on the air. It was just in here.
No, it was just funny, though.
Oh, I know.
I laughed because you laughed. So Ohtani's first 4 starts, okay? 6 innings, 3 earned runs, okay, in a win. 7 innings, no earned runs in a win. Then 2 innings, 3 earned runs in a loss. And then 4 earned runs in 5 1/3, no decision. So, again, a mixed bag in his first month as a pitcher.
Yeah, his first year, he was 4-2 with a 3.31 ERA.
Yeah, but then he got better.
Yeah.
He got much better after those first 4
But it
starts.
still averaged out a little bit. Like he wasn't mind-blowing as a pitcher.
Right. His first month was a mixed bag, and then he got good like the after that. But he got hurt also.
So maybe he needs a little bit more time.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see
I will
what
just
May
tell you
looks
this,
like.
though. I'll tell you this. As the Dodgers have been losing series, okay, and they lost the series to the Padres, they lost to the Nationals, and they lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. And thankfully, if you're a Dodger fan, yesterday was a big recovery kind of a win, 10-0. But while that has happened, while they've dropped all these games, they're still in first place. Just nobody has decided to come up and take it from them, and not that it really matters in early April.
Yeah.
But the Padres lost 2 out of 3 this past weekend to Toronto. And Arizona, who was in the World Series last year, they're hovering around 500.
Did they go up against Yusei Kikuchi?
I don't know.
Kikuchi.
I don't know.
Yusei Kikuchi, man, was pitching great. He pitched great against the Yankees last week.
By the way, did you see that story about him that every time he wins, he celebrates with his teammates with this 300-year-old bottle of scotch?
I heard that.
That's
yes,
cool. That's
I saw
awesome.
that.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
it's my kind of guy.
Yeah.
You just mentioned the Yankees. You see what happened today at the Yankees game?
Aaron Boone got thrown out because a fan said something.
Dude, I don't. It was the most
actually,
confusing
you know what?
thing.
Let's talk about that before, as we, when we wrap up Radio Tinder, because I do think it's a hilarious thing that happened. If you could find the audio, it would be great because you hear a lot of the umpire yelling at Boone. It is a hilarious thing, Cappy. Great point.
You hear that twice in one segment, Chris.
You've made 3 great points today.
I was reading something.
Yeah. Christopher, Mike B has a bone to pick with you as well.
Do you want to do it now?
We can address it later. We got a break. So Cappy's got to talk about his friends at Coors first.
All right,
Oh, I would love to.
I had a
I would
Coors
love
Light
to.
over the weekend, actually.
So did I. How'd it go?
I'm a Mick Ultra guy, but I enjoyed the Coors Light.
Yeah, Coors Light is it's crispy, it's clean, it's refreshing, it's light. It's what I like to call in the beer world, it's crushable. You understand? Like you could buy a 6-pack of Coors Light, you could have it in the refrigerator. That silver bullet can will turn the mountains blue, and you could crush a 6-pack, no problem. Hey, look, we love to chill here in Southern California, and there's a website that I want you to check out. It's cachoosechill.com. cachoosechill.com. Everywhere you drive around in Southern California, you are seeing those gigantic Coors Light signs. And again, I want you to visit that website, cachoosechill.com. So enjoy all that we have to offer here in Southern California, all of our teams battling for championships, and even if it's early in the season, controversies, if you will, for only being 1 game or 2 games over 500. Enjoy it all with icy cold Coors Light. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And when drinking that icy cold Coors Light, celebrate responsibly.
You never
Sedano and Cappy.
Oh, the Tonight Show.
5:30. Remember, we go to the Toyota Lakers countdown to tip-off, which means we're moving Radio Tinder up, sucker. And we like to play a TV theme when we can. On this day in 1991, Johnny Carson announced he will retire from the Tonight Show.
Now, that is weird. That is wild, weird, wacky stuff. That I did not know.
And by the way, yes, that was a long time ago. DeAndre, you don't even know who Johnny Carson is, right?
Oh.
But on Pluto TV, they have the Tonight Show Johnny Carson channel.
Oh, yeah?
Just watch some of it. He was the greatest to ever do it. Arsenio was pretty good, too.
I loved
But
Arsenio.
a different time, it was a different world. But still, Johnny Carson set the
different world
standard.
was a different show.
No, it was a different show. Yeah. Anyway, you can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. And don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Is that the theme's out now? I want to know a little bit more. I want the end where the drum. Yeah. Founded in the city of Downey, just like me. I wanted it for this part, D, when I say, take it away, producer Lindsay. Yeah, see, like I'm Ed McMahon.
Right. You are correct, a great one.
That's a great one, Johnny.
You are correct.
Thanks, Christopher.
Yes.
All right, so I don't know if you guys saw this Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fight over the weekend. How could you not? It was all over everywhere.
I didn't see the actual fight, but I saw all the highlights. Yeah.
And
all
everything.
the social media
Beto had
stuff.
a
great view from
of
when
it,
Ryan
yeah.
Garcia climbed the ring ropes. Yeah.
He was like as close as we were when we were at the Tequila Mandala fight night over in what was the name of the place?
The hangar in Costa Mesa.
Yes, that was awesome. We were just as close as Beto. So anyway, he obviously stunned the boxing world with a major upset victory over Devin Haney over the weekend, and he apparently made a huge payday on top of what he was already slated to earn before the bout. So Garcia cashed out a $12 million winning ticket this morning after he bet $2 million on himself to win last night, which is awesome. So I guess this is more of like a theoretical type of question because we can't bet on ourselves, in that sense. But can you think of a time where you actually bet on yourself and won big?
Yeah, I've bet on myself in my work life before and won pretty big. So, I think that he literally bet on himself and won big. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I have done that. I believe in that philosophy that if you feel like you're in a position where you just need a couple of opportunities to break your way, you have to do the math in your head. Hey, am I going to get these chances to do what I want to do? So yeah, in my career, I have placed many bets on myself. None more important than the first bet I placed on myself, where I took myself and paid my own way, at least initially, until they decided to pay for it later, to the Super Bowl, where I ended up meeting Andrew Ashwood, which ended up leading to my first big national job.
Yeah, babe.
So.
Yeah, babe.
I was in Houston setting up my own remote.
Yeah, babe.
Like Cappy in a dartboard.
Yeah.
Well, I've done the same thing. I actually did that in 2002, I want to say.
Yeah.
I went to 2002. Whatever it was, 2000. I went to the Super Bowl also. I was like, I got to go down there, and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do next in my career, and did the exact same thing. Bet on yourself. Went to Tampa, where I went to the Super Bowl. And I remember seeing Mike Greenberg, and I was on Radio Row, and I saw Mike Greenberg. I'm like, this freaking guy, really? Like, this guy? Like, they're blowing up this guy? And they were. And,
oh, come on,
you still sound pretty jealous of a colleague.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just like, but I just remember, like, seeing, like, Mike, because he was kind of early with Mike and Mike. You know what I mean? It was, like, really early.
Remember, he replaced Tony, because it was originally Bruno Gola.
Bruno Gola,
Oh, mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, but betting on yourself, that's kind of cool. That's a lot of guts right there, because Ryan Garcia, as I recall, he was not the favorite to win the fight, was he?
At all.
Yeah. $2 million. That's no joke. You know who's betting I want to follow is Dave Portnoy. He seems to win at everything he bets.
Yeah, but you have to remember he doesn't share his losses, really.
Well, I don't know if he does or he doesn't.
Floyd Mayweather does the same thing.
I'll tell you right now,
always see the winning bets.
Boy, I'll tell you, he got some balls, though. You know what I mean? He bets $1 million on something. I'm like, damn, man, that's impressive.
Ipe was the same way. You only hear about the winning.
That's true. Who was it? It was Ipe?
It was Ipe.
Okay,
it was Ipe.
All right.
All right, what's next,
Get
Liz?
those tinfoil hats out. All right, so the Charlotte Hornets are actually interviewing your pal, J.J. Redick, for their head coaching job.
I just saw this. Shams Charania reported
Shams
that.
reported it about 20 minutes ago. The 15-year
I'd be so upset.
NBA, would you?
They ought to hire him.
Well, I was going to – Cappy doesn't want to see him on ESPN.
Well, that means it won't be J.J. and Sedano ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So do you guys think that J.J. Redick will get an NBA coaching job this offseason? Swipe left or swipe right?
It's the second time he's interviewed for a job, because he had the Raptors interview the first time. I wouldn't take the Charlotte job if I were him. Not that he's going to take my advice, but
even if it's the first job ever?
That's a bad job. Like,
Yeah.
I would not take a bad job. Like, you may not get a chance at a great job right away, but that's a bad job. You know what I mean? Like, LaMelo is never healthy. You got to really believe in the organization. And here's the thing. That organization has been a disaster for a long time now. So that's not a job I would take.
Let me give you just one piece of perspective here, though, on this J.J. Redick possibly becoming an NBA head coach. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. Let's say the Lakers get swept by the Nuggets. Hypothetical.
Here we go.
Hypothetical, okay? And let's say Coach Hamon gets axed, right? Now, LeBron.
All the smoke and we ain't ducking no fade.
Okay, well, don't
he's
duck
doing the
any fade.
podcast with JJ, right?
LeBron is doing the podcast with JJ, and these are the two smartest basketball minds on planet Earth here on Earth Day, okay? And so maybe what happens is the Lakers get swept. LeBron goes upstairs to Jeannie and says, listen, we need a fresh perspective. We need somebody that can really, somebody that's a basketball savant, and we're not getting Kaplan because he's committed to Sedano. So guess what? I want J.J. Redick. If the Lakers job became available, LeBron might put J.J. Redick into that job.
I don't know. I think he might put Rondo in first.
Rondo, yeah, he did suggest Rondo.
Why are you guys jumping to speculation that LeBron has ever decided a head coach? We know that's not true. He's never done that, right? He's never gotten coaches fired or hired other ones. No,
that's right. He says leave it up to the front office. That's not what he does.
I would just say JJ, don't take the Charlotte job.
I say JJ, hold out hope for the Laker job.
There'll be better jobs, is what I would say.
Yeah,
all
like the
right.
Laker job.
By the way, this segment. What's that?
I heard that.
I said, yeah, like the Lakers job.
Radio Tinder is presented by our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Award-winning small batch premium sippy tequila made from the finest mature agaves available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. Visit their website, tequilamandala.com, to find a store or restaurant nearest you. Tequila Mandala. Demand the extraordinary. All right, take it away, Lindsay. One more.
All right, last one here. So I noticed over the weekend a couple Major League Baseball teams had their Bark in the Park night, and even
I love Bark in the Park.
Right
Do you
now.
really?
I do. I love Bark in the Park.
Well, that's what
I used to
gonna
take
ask
my
you
dogs
guys.
back in the day.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. They're even doing it at the White Sox Twins game today. So I was going to ask, I know I've heard Travis, he's vehemently against the idea of, bringing dogs in human spaces, and I think he may have even,
Yeah, but they usually put them in, specific sections.
Right,
though.
right. You have, it's totally sectioned off by itself. If you want to be with the dogs, you can be with the dogs. So I was going to ask, are you guys a fan of Bark in the Park? And obviously you are, George.
I am. I have taken, when I had my other dog, Riley, I took him to Bark at the park one time, and we had fun with him.
Benny?
Well, we take Benny. I don't know. Are the Dodgers do the Dodgers do that?
They do. How is Benny, by the way?
You got to be careful, though. Dodgers say a lot of pit bulls are there. That's all.
No,
you don't want Benny.
we haven't gotten much of a Benny update. How's Benny? How's it going?
Benny overall
Bite that little dog in half.
Benny overall has been great, except he curls up to me too much when I'm trying to sleep.
Aw, he loves you.
And it's like, bro, but you're waking me up. You need to stop this. I need to,
Be careful, Benny. He'll send you to Terminal H.
I'm this close. I've already told my wife,
Benny, go to hell.
Can we just put Benny in a bed down below?
He doesn't have a cage? Not like a cage, but
A crate?
Yeah, crate.
He's fine when he's in the crate by
Crate is a
himself.
cage.
Because
Yeah.
we've when my wife had to take the kids to their activities on Saturday, she left. She didn't want to take Benny because he whines and he wants to be
Oh,
around
and
the kids.
Sedano, immediately that dog was in the crate.
No,
if Sedano's home alone, crate.
Oh, yeah.
No. When he's with me,
disciplinary.
Benny, I got to watch hoops. Crate.
No. Benny sits with me when I'm watching hoops.
Wait, is
but
he
she
gonna be
left him in
sitting-
the crate while she went out because she didn't want him to get into anything. And she says she checked on the camera. She couldn't even hear him whining or anything. He was totally fine. So he's fine. It's just the only issue I have is the nighttime. I'm
He's too
yo,
clingy.
huh?
He's too clingy.
He's a stage 4 clinger,
Oh.
Wait, so I have a few questions here. So he sleeps in bed with you. Does he have his dog ramp or dog steps?
Yeah,
right?
he's got a dog ramp on
Okay.
the couch and on the bed.
So if you took that away, would he just sit at the bottom of the bed and cry until you brought him up on the bed? Because that's what
Yeah,
my
he'd
dog used
whine,
to
I'm
do.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's the way
He
they fix
whines
it.
when my
Could
wife...
Could
my
he
wife
jump on the bed or no?
No, he's too small.
he's too
Oh,
short.
okay.
He's a wiener dog.
When I
Oh.
when my wife goes upstairs for something, just literally to I don't know, let's say she grabs clothes from the laundry room and takes them upstairs. He sits there because we have a gate that blocks the stairwell, and he starts barking or he whines. It's oh, come on, dude, she's right there. What are you doing?
Aw. Aw, he
enough
loves
with you.
guys so much already. Sorry, you know how much I love dogs, so I just needed to check in. on
Let's
Benny.
go, toughen up here, Benny.
Yeah.
Crate, Benny. I got to watch hoops.
Nah,
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Benny's good with me watching hoops.
Is he gonna sit on your lap next time you do the show from home? Can we get a Benny? Benny
When my
video?
wife's been doing work from home, he's below her. You know what I mean? He sits below.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I have a problem with bark in the park because my dog doesn't get along with anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Humans, dogs, nobody.
He's a biter.
He's a biter.
Anyway.
So I can't take Jack the Frenchie to any of
you
these
can't.
bark in the park things.
It's a liability for you.
Right, it is. I mean, I'm bound to get sued.
And you've already had enough issues in court.
Well, I have. That's true. Plus, don't forget, he once bit Rachel on the tuchus.
Right.
You know?
You
So the
can't
guy's-
have that.
He's a biter.
Yeah.
Chewy would love bark in the park.
All right, Cappy.
Chris, maybe you should walk Chewy to the bark in the park.
Go ahead. Keep it up.
Cappy, before we go to break and back to the Lakers, tell the folks about Prize Picks. What do you got Prize Picks tonight in this game?
So let me tell you tonight, thankfully, I had LeBron on Saturday to score more than 24.5 points. He scored 27.
Yeah.
Now, tonight, Prize Picks gave you a free gift, right, because he flipped the switch. Prize Picks gave you a free gift tonight. They gave you Jokic for half a point. George, do you suppose Jokic is going to score a half a point tonight? I would think so.
I think so.
So that LeBron Jokic play that I put together on Saturday, that's going to be a winner in about the first 30 seconds of the game. But I will tell you guys this right now. I'm calling on everybody in the circle of trust who is playing on Prize Picks. I need your help. I had Anthony Davis. He got it for me. But I had Luka to have more than 4.5 threes. He only had 4. I had D'Angelo Russell to score more than 15.5. He only scored 13.
Yeah, good luck.
I mean, I'm not doing very well right now. So when you go on to Prize Picks, use the share button, okay, and tweet me your Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Use my code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. That's code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, for a first deposit match of 100% up to $100. Get in the game. Let's play together. Share your picks, and let's win on Prize Picks.
By the way, I messed up on our TV theme for Radio Tinder. We should have played Who's the Boss theme because today or yesterday
Angela
was Tony Danza's
Oh, yeah.
73rd birthday. And, of course, Tony Danza is sort of friend of the show.
Yeah. No, not really.
He told us to F off.
He called his mother bleepers.
Way back when.
But hey, listen, anybody who tells you to F off, that's how you know you're close.
Anyway, more shenanigans coming up. Plus, I will tell you at some point before 5:30 how Sedano tried to pull a Cappy at the snack stand just now. Our company snack stand. He tried to walk away with the merch, and I caught him.
After I tried to pay 3 times,
What
I
happened
wouldn't
to the
take my
honor system
card.
around here?
I
Come on.
tried to tap.
Yeah, well, the tap didn't
Well,
work.
get a
And
new
I
card.
told him, slide that card in there, sucker.
I want to tap.
All right.
Listen, 3 strikes, you're out on the tap. Okay.
What you got there, like some Skittles or something?
No, they're
He got
pistachios.
pistachio. I got a Snickers bar. I was starving.
You had a Snickers bar?
What's wrong with that?
Come on.
I'm not like you. I'm not insecure about my weight. I'm fine being a heavy boy. Okay?
All right, Cappy, let's
Heavy
hear from
boy.
Coach Hamon on the other side because he said some stuff that pissed Laker fans off.
minutes in front of 5 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday, back in 1990, the number one hit, Sinead O'Connor.
May she rest in peace.
Yes, we lost her recently. Nothing compares to you, Cappy. You remember this joint?
Oh, I remember
when you were
it well.
riding around in your Honda Civic?
No, it was a Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nothing compares to you.
It's also Earth Day, I think, as you mentioned earlier.
I saw a great picture in the COT of you and Bergman on Earth Day. And
Yeah.
Mason.
Yeah.
And everybody
In the
said that
lazy
I was
river.
going to be jealous because the way you guys were hugging up on each other.
Well, our faces were rubbing. Well, that was from the night of Mandy's, too.
Who created that? Was that Grant in L.A.?
Who created the picture?
Yeah.
No, the picture's real.
No, I'm saying who made
Crypto Ray, I
the
believe.
mashup?
Crypto Ray, I believe.
Oh, he
Oh,
did?
it's Crypto Ray?
Oh, Crypto Ray's getting into that now,
The
too?
general.
Photoshopping?
Yeah.
That guy's got his hand in everything.
He's the general.
By the way, how did Weedchella do or whatever?
Dude, I don't know. The pictures,
The pictures
there
were
Chris Ward.
amazing.
Yeah.
From our
between
friend
Crypto
Chris
Ray
Ward.
and Chris Ward and Casper Villa and the
Green
Vice
Torrance.
President, Handsome Man.
I'm sorry, the Green
community.
Cross in Torrance.
I was
Yeah.
going to go, but I was just my sinuses on Friday were a disaster.
Omar Lopez.
I need some like real medication for my sinus. It's been a month and a half.
I do all the
can't shake
OTC
it.
stuff. I told you the
I get the Navage. I'm going to buy the Navage.
The Navage is amazing, but the thing that worked yesterday morning, finally,
Yeah.
was just the straight Arm & Hammer saline spray.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the Navage.
Oh, it's intense.
It's intense.
Because
It
you're
looks
watching,
powerful.
you're watching what comes out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like a Buick hubcap comes out,
Yeah,
and sometimes nothing comes out, and you're like, why is it nothing?
Yeah.
What
But
is
it-
Navage? I don't understand.
It's the
what
one
it
you
is.
see on television where, so other than like the neti pot,
Yeah.
where you have to pour it yourself,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about.
this one's
Try
like a
that.
box.
And it's like a machine.
And you stick it right in there.
Ew.
And it
Both nostrils.
It shoots water through one and then pulls it out the other.
Ooh,
And then you,
ooh.
about half through the water, you flip it.
Well, that sounds
And then you
good.
shoot it the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And a
would
lot,
do
especially
that.
when you're congested. But really, you're supposed to do it every day at the end of the day because that's where everything gets in there.
Yeah.
Your nose is the ultimate filter, much
Yeah.
like your liver's the filter for everything inside.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're watching.
why
me
you
put it
point
right-
at your butt.
Well,
Yeah.
the liver's right here. It's right here.
Yeah.
You get a Navage for your
I was
cookies?
wondering, where's your liver?
Yeah.
Liver. Anyway, your nose.
I love the Navage.
Is where, especially
I'm
for me,
terrified
I'm
of
riding on trains and subways. Think about all the stuff that's
Well, me
getting
too.
in there.
Planes.
Yeah, planes.
Yeah.
So wait, do you use it, George, or do you have?
No, I
want
wanna buy it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got to get it.
Chris is into the Navage. She's
Oh,
been
I
selling
Navage
it.
I
like
think that you should buy it and you should go live with your first experience.
we
of
can
it.
Navage together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Navage on
It
live
sounds like some
Navage.
kind of a bread in a Mediterranean restaurant to me, Navage.
Is it make a mess?
No, actually, it's much easier than
It's
the 95
self-contained.
because it's all contained, and you get a little travel kit.
And you just
Ew,
like
and
toss
then
it.
you look at it afterwards.
No,
I
you
would look at it.
you can look at it, but you pour the water out and
gotta
then
look
you
at
wash
it,
it
and
And then
out.
you
I know
put
what's
new
coming
distilled
out.
water, right?
You got to look at
So
it.
this is the other thing. The great thing about remember Neti
Cap,
Pot,
you
they
gotta
ask you
look
to
at it.
warm up water and
Yeah,
stuff.
the distilled water, yeah.
This is they have the salt pods. They
Oh.
come with it.
Oh, okay.
And you just buy the refill pods at like CVS or whatever. So you could just use regular water
Oh,
from the
'cause
tap.
I have the Neil Med where you have like you
Yeah.
put the little you rip the little
Yeah.
thing and you put the saline
Yeah,
in it.
that's what I got. I got the Neil Med.
No.
Yeah, Neil Med.
You guys,
Navage.
step up to the Navage.
All right,
I got
it's like
that Neil
$100
Med.
this Navage.
It's worth every penny, honestly.
okay.
The problem is, I don't think I was Navaging
God, we're
enough.
so old. We're talking about the Navage.
I didn't Navage enough
Fuck,
leading
the
into this
Navage, fuck.
sickness. Then it got me, and I've just been, for the last month,
All right,
fighting it.
People
I'm
really
going to
do
get
it
a
every
Navage
day?
this weekend.
The person who suggested it to me, Matt Mallon, our old GSM, many years ago, it was really the last time I was sick, like bad. He's like, dude, you got to get on the Navage train.
Yeah.
To do that every day seems like a lot.
The Navage.
Let me tell you something. If you Navage and you drink lemon water, warm, hot lemon water with a little cayenne pepper in the morning, bam, you won't get sick. It's when you let up. I let up at the
You
beginning
let up
of
on
this.
the Navage.
I let up on the Navage and the water,
Yeah.
and the lemon
They have
water.
a travel Navage?
No, it's you get a travel kit. You just put it in your suitcase.
All right.
Or you can put it in your carry-on.
All right.
Or you could just Navage in every town.
Yeah.
Just go to the Walgreens and buy a Navage in every town.
No,
And
I
then-
can't do that. That's
Okay.
there's a lot of money just leaving them in every
Navage
town.
money all over the place.
Hey, George, you said you wanted to go to Coach Ham, but before you do,
I once
wanna-
Navaged in a hotel room while Cappy was asleep. He didn't even know I Navaged. He didn't even know I Navaged.
I had no idea. I'm a good sleeper. Hey, real quick, before you go to Coach Ham, I am getting a lot of people sending me their prize picks for tonight. Do you assume that LeBron's going to have another big offensive performance tonight?
I mean, he better.
25.5, more or less.
See, but I think more assists for LeBron.
Okay, maybe I should play.
What is his
rebounds.
assist numbers?
I would have to look that up.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to play
You're
Jokic
always
to
focusing
go
on
over.
points.
I'm
Like-
going to focus on Jokic to go over more than 28 points.
Look at what the assists are, Cappy. Because he's like the only
How about
Laker
this?
ever to average 25, 5, and 5 in the playoffs.
How about this? LeBron tonight, 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
And they'll still, I mean, no, they're going
no,
to win.
8.5 assists, George. 8.5. What do you think? 8.5 assists?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good bet.
I know. I like
What is the
points,
number?
Rebounds.
I go over.
8.5 assists.
No. What's the total number?
41.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
For them to have a shot to win, he's going to have to get 43 points there in those categories. So,
Okay, well, then I'm going to take it.
all right,
I'm going to take it.
that's the magic number. 27, 8, and 8 is what he needs for them to
He can do it.
to have a shot to win.
All right,
He
just,
can
He's
do
going
it.
to turn the light on.
just place
The
it
switch.
He's probably going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I'll turn the light on. That was a bad song.
Yeah. By the way, let's just save Coach Ham and his commentary for our last segment because we're going to do Big Deal or No Deal at 5:15. Coach Ham has said some stuff that our friend Jovan Buha put out on Twitter, and it kind of it drew the ire of Laker fans. Let's just say, but we'll have the entire context. With the audio, okay? And I will explain, because Dead Meow's already going after him. He's already quote tweeted the Jovan Buha tweet, and it's like, Dead Meow, I understand, you are the untrained eye, and I'm going to explain to you why it is that you don't get
I need the
what
job
what
that
he's
Dead
saying.
Meow has, because he tweets all day long.
You're right.
And he's in the YouTube chat.
You're
What does he
right.
do? What job? Because he said he's in finance.
Yeah.
I hope he's not in charge of somebody's money, because he's got no time. He's tweeting all day.
Dead Meow's in finance?
That's what he said.
Nuh-uh.
He said that when we were going through the Otani thing.
Really?
That he was in finance, so he knew.
He knew.
Does that mean
He
he's
knew.
a bookie?
He might be.
You know, he understood the Otani thing, and he's in finance?
All right, Coach Ham got people all riled up. We'll tell you what he said next. Children's Dental Fun Zone. Guys, if you're a parent, we all want what's best for our kids, right? And choosing a dentist can be challenging. But here's the deal. Children's Dental Fun Zone is the place for you and your family. You know why? It's got fun in the name. Kids want to have fun, okay? Someone out there, you need someone out there you can have that you can trust with your children and their teeth, okay? Teeth are important, man. And you know what? I'm not talking about just like kids like who are like toddlers or whatever. I'm talking about first tooth. Get them to the dentist already. Like, you can't even mess around. Like, you got to get them there quick. So I got to tell you more about my friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone. They got 17 locations across Southern California to choose from. So whether you're in L.A. County, wherever you are in L.A. County, the valleys, whatever, they got you covered. The O.C., they got locations. I.E., they got locations. You're good to go with 17 locations across the Southland for Children's Dental Fun Zone, where they specialize in children's dentistry and orthodontics with state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your kids deserve. So here's the deal at Children's Dental Fun Zone. Here's how they make it fun for the kids. They got movies while the kids are getting their work done, iPads, toys for the kids to play with, all sorts of stuff. I'm telling you, I wish this stuff existed when I was a kid because I was terrified to go to the dentist. You go to Children's Dental Fun Zone, the kids are having a blast. So trust me when I tell you, they're going to have a blast with you too. All right? So bring the kids to Children's Dental Fun Zone. For the parents, they accept Medi-Cal, PPO, and HMO insurance plans. So to book your child's next appointment or their first appointment at Children's Dental Fun Zone, don't wait. Go to their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com, Children's Dental Fun Zone, or you can call them 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717-KIDS.
At 10 a.m. or in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Time for what you need to know.
Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are.
Take it away, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Christopher. So, longtime Yankees broadcaster John Sterling called his last game over the weekend after 36 years, and...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at John Sterling.
Wait, are you laughing at this?
I just read The Circle of Trust, and Los from the vice president of the Handsome Man community, he just tweeted, "Real sinus talk here on 710 ESPN LA." It was real sinus talk.
Good
There
sinus
was.
talk is what that is.
It was funny.
Good
It's
sinus
funny.
talk.
Good tweet. God. All right, I'm sorry. John Sterling, yes.
Okay, yeah,
They
so-
gave him a TV.
Yeah, well, that was my point. And so he's getting ribbed by all the Yankees fans because his going away present, usually they give him some kind of like big
A
flashy
watch or
cool.
Well, they shouldn't rib him. They should rib the team.
No, that's what I mean. They're ribbing
Yeah.
the team, the Yankees, saying that they're cheap because his going away gift was an 83-inch LED TV. And
Which-
it's like, wait, what?
Wait, and by the way, during his...
Was it from The Wiz?
Might have been. That's like an old Yankee joke. But the funny thing is, while he was doing his acceptance or his goodbye speech, he says, and I'll still obviously be watching the Yankees on my 5 beautiful televisions at my house. So he's like, he's got plenty of TVs. Why does he need another one?
Why, is
Like,
The Wiz not around anymore?
I don't know if the Wiz is around anymore.
That's an appliance store. They
Yeah,
used
New
to
York.
advertise
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I don't
Crazy
know if
Eddie's.
that's
There
all
used to be one too. They used to do a
Crazy
Saturday Night
Eddie's
Live
is great.
spoof on that
Yeah.
one. But the my thing is like, why couldn't you just have announced if you're the Yankees, hey, we're gonna put a microphone in Monument Park or something in his honor? You know, the Lakers have a Chick Hearn statue, deservedly so.
I have a question though about this whole thing. I didn't understand it. So the baseball season started, and he didn't know he was going to retire.
Physically, he's not capable. He tried to give it a shot, but just physically, he's 80 something years old, man.
No, I get it, but I mean, it would seem odd to me that they didn't
He
know
tried
before.
He tried
All
to
right.
do it. He didn't. He thought this would be his last season, but he couldn't do it. Like the travel was just too tough for him.
And how old the guy is?
I
he?
thought it was weird
80
too.
something, like 82, 81.
I
something
think
like
he's 83, right? That's why they
Oh,
gave him
maybe.
an 83-inch TV, maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But still, okay, so people
Yeah.
were like, he 100%, they forgot about his going away gift. It's kind of like the time that they gave Miguel Cabrera, what team gave him a really bad gift? It was like a bottle of whiskey or something. I think
and
it was the Giants.
He was a recovering alcoholic or
Yes,
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, this was not like a good gift. It wasn't thought out. It was just like, oh, crap, we forgot we got to do that whole gift thing. So, yeah, he was getting killed for that. and
Yeah,
I
come
thought it was
on,
very
man.
funny.
At least make the comment like, hey, we're going to put a microphone in the Monument Park. Because Yankees Monument Park is cool. You know
So
what I mean?
we shouldn't give Ireland a TV next year? Or,
No, he already has
wow.
plenty.
I mean,
That
wow.
actually is.
Wow.
That did go over my head, but I was going
Wow.
to say, that actually would be like the same situation because
Wow.
Ireland works for Mir, right? Like he works
Yeah.
with them. He gets the hookup.
He's got like a
but they,
90-inch television, though.
Yeah,
Right.
but Mirror would be different. You know, that's his voice. But that'd be one of the gifts. You know, like a rocking chair, like they did with Kareem. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
see, now you're making the bit worse.
Well, it's a
now.
Kareem bit.
You're making the bit worse, actually.
You know?
Why don't you give him, like, I don't know, some sort of sporting equipment, like a surfboard or something. Like, you know, he can go out there with Dr. Clapper and he can surf now.
How are you?
Now that
About
he's
a
done.
neti pot. Or
How
whatever
are
that
you?
thing is that
How
you
about
have
like
to
some
put in.
Navage.
The
more,
Navage.
a Navage?
Yeah.
Some more golf clubs?
Yeah.
Oh, golf clubs. I just got him a brand new driver.
He can go
You
out
did?
there with James
Yeah.
Worthy.
He's playing
Yeah.
a Callaway driver, really?
What's going
Yeah.
to happen? Is that when we're going to have like Mason in the morning or whatever?
Nah, I don't know.
No.
That's when we'll put Sedano Network in the afternoon.
What?
What? Anyway, continuance.
No, that was it. That was my what you need to know. They gave him a bad gift.
They did. That's brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are.
Just to be clear, it's John that has forecasted this with his little jokes on the air.
Right. It's him. Yes.
I
Mason
wanted
wants
to
stay
stay
around forever.
If they want to stay for 20 years, I'm not going to live for another 20 more years. So
Yeah?
Eventually, they'll get somebody else.
I thought Mason just wants to make it through the Olympics in 2028.
No, he gave up on that. He's like going past that now.
Oh, he
Now
is?
he says
Well,
you have to drag him out kicking and screaming.
What else is
really?
he going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what else is he going to
Well, I mean, there's only so many lazy rivers you can go to.
Exactly.
He gets bored after like day 3 of vacation, and he's like, all right, I'm ready to come back.
Yeah. So, Darvin Ham.
All right, what did he say that pissed people off? Let me hear it.
I mean, so I'm going to find the tweet here real quick.
Okay.
From
who? Let me know.
From Dead Meow, because Dead Meow quote tweeted this tweet from Jovan Buha, our friend Jovan Buha.
By the way, Dead Meow just sent me a text that said, or a tweet that said, so a guy parting a sea in half is more believable than Pompeii, huh? Because remember, I've told you that when
Right,
I
you
went
didn't
to
believe the Pompeii thing, yeah.
It's not that I didn't believe it. It's just that I wasn't 100% certain.
Right.
Okay? And as far as the parting of the Red Sea, have you not been to Universal? Have you not seen it for yourself?
Yeah.
Have you not seen the movie?
Yeah.
Dead Meow?
Yeah, Dead Meow. So Jovan Buha tweeted after the game, Darvin Ham says the Lakers have a couple more adjustments they're going to throw at Nikola Jokic. He added the Lakers didn't want to use all of their adjustments in Game 1, to which every fan went bonkers when he tweeted this, including Dead Meow, who says this has to be the idiotic Ham quote I've heard. Yeah, let's save the adjustments for next season. Okay, so let's hear from Darvin, and I will tell you what he actually meant. And I don't know, I didn't hear the entire context of his post game because I didn't get a chance to hear most of it. I heard LeBron, I heard D'Lo, I heard a little bit of Darvin. Did not hear this thing, but when I saw the tweet, everyone going nuts, I figured we'd talk about it today. But go ahead, play Darvin.
We have a couple of different things in that playbook. Again, we're going to go investigate the film, and we want Rui to be active and energetic and, try to use his athleticism to deny opportunities. And just face it, some of those, you go back and look what type of shots those were that allowed him to go 8 for 9. I'm sure a bunch of them were contested. They weren't open. Kid's a hell of a player. Like, you're going to play great defense, and he's still going to score. I see it every day when teams try to stop LeBron, and so, or AD for that matter. And you just, again, just continuously fighting the fight. And yeah, if we have to go to something else adjustment-wise, we do have a couple of more things that we can throw at them. So we're comfortable where we're at. Hey, we lost. Always don't, you want to try to start the series off in a good way, but give them credit. They did what they needed to do. Now we have to go back, regroup, and try to do what we need to do on Monday.
So Jovan's tweet did Darvin a disservice there.
What did he say? What did Jovan's tweet say?
I told you earlier. It says, Darvin Ham says the Lakers have a couple of more adjustments they're going to throw at Nikola Jokic. He added the Lakers didn't want to use all their adjustments in Game 1.
Okay. I thought you were quoting Darvin. Okay, got it.
So, and what I would say to you is this is, yeah, the key word there is more, okay? Like, this makes it, people's reaction was like, he didn't have any adjustments for him. And it's what Darvin said. We were up on him the whole game. And he hit shots. You know why? He's awesome. He does that to everybody. And here's what I would also tell you. If you're the road team in an NBA playoff series, your goal, Cappy, is to get what?
You're supposed to get one win on the
correct.
road. That's what you want to get.
Yes, correct. So you don't want to throw everything at him in Game 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have some that you say, we're going to give this a shot. We feel like it has a chance. If it doesn't work, okay, we'll go back to the drawing board. That's how a 7-game series works. It's a chess game.
But I will say this, though. Like, one of the things that Jokic did in Game 1 that I don't really think of him as being able to do is kind of blow by a guy. He really blew by Rui. And it wasn't just because he's so much bigger or stronger. He actually looked faster and quicker and went to the basket. And I think I'm trying to remember who it was that was on the announcing team on Saturday that said something like, boy, you don't really see that all that often.
Bob Myers, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. And I understand where a fan, or anybody for that matter, would, even Jovan, would hear what he said, put it out there, and then in black and white it might be misinterpreted when it's in writing. Like, wait a second. So you go in and you've got a bunch of ideas. We could do A, B, or C. And so we only went with A, but now we get to the next game, we'll do B and C. I mean, I think a lot of people would hear what Darvin said and they would say, let's make sure that we make adjustments in game if things aren't going the way we'd hoped.
Correct. And you got to have some more in the bag. You know what I'm saying? For like the rest of, like, you got to try to get one. So you have a couple you try out in Game 1. You have some more you try in Game 2. That's it. That's how it works in every series. I don't care if you're Darvin Ham or Phil Jackson or Pat Riley. They all do the same thing.
Well, listen, if the Lakers can score this win tonight, and I realize that we've got the pregame coming up in 20 minutes from now, and the game will tip off in under 2 hours. If the Lakers can get this one win, which obviously we all understand the numbers. They've lost 9 straight to the Nuggets. We get it. They were swept last year in the Western Conference Finals. They're not as good, okay? We've already documented today that it's not just Jokic, all right? And it's not just Murray. That their entire starting 5 is just person for person. It's just better. Man for man, it's just better. And by the way, they didn't get a whole bunch from their bench. What's that kid's name, George? The kid from UCLA, Watson? Peyton Watson.
Yeah.
I mean, he was their leading scorer off the bench at 8 points. They didn't get a lot from their bench. They got all their points from their top 5 guys. And the Lakers got, which was amazing, by the way, 11 points out of Taurean Prince. He actually hit a shot for the first time since like the early part of the season. So the Lakers have got to get, we all understand it, D'Angelo Russell or Austin Reeves or Rui Hachimura, one of those three guys has to score in the 20s for the Lakers to win.
Yeah, particularly D'Angelo Russell needs to play well. And by the way, Austin needs to be a little more aggressive. I get it. But my thing was, like, ultimately, the Lakers need to play a near perfect game for them to beat this team. Like, that's the reality of the world that they live in.
Right.
Or a combination of they play a great game and Denver just has an off night.
Right, exactly. Like the way Dallas against the Clippers.
Oh, let me tell you something. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I'm going to say this.
Go.
I mean, I'll give a lot of credit to the Clippers because when you're playing without your best player and you still blow somebody up, okay, that's one thing. But on the other hand, as much as James Harden was really great, especially early in that game, the first half in particular, like Luka was terrible shooting the ball.
Started poorly, but then played much better later.
Yeah, but when the game was like 30 points, out of reach. All I'm saying is that
they got the game close. They got it to like single digits late in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, those guys were getting hammered. I mean, I will give them credit
they were
for fighting
early,
back.
but they did. There was a moment there early in the fourth where it was like, wait a second,
So all I'm saying,
is safe.
No lead is safe. 38 times teams have blown a 20-point lead in the second half this year.
Well, like, listen, I was watching this Boston-Miami game the other day, and Boston had, I want to say, like a 30-plus point lead, and Miami just kept kind of chipping away. Now, they never really threatened to win the game.
They got down to 14, right?
Right, but they chipped away at it, when they were down like 35 points or something crazy like that.
Yeah, no lead is safe in today's NBA. That's the reality of it. But
my point is that if Denver could have a bad night shooting,
right,
while the Lakers have a really great night,
yes.
Now all of a sudden, instead of having to play a perfect game, you actually play a good game because they played a bad game.
Correct.
And that's how you win the game.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how?
That's
so
analysis is what that is right there.
Look, D'Lo needs.
That's a big D. That's how basketball works right there.
That's how basketball works.
That's how basketball works.
Yeah.
Right there.
The Lakers need another great game from their two stars, and then those other guys need to perform at least at an average to above average level. Like by the way, the other part of it is 18 points on second chance points is absurd. Like, you can't give that up either. I know Jokic is great at that, but it wasn't just Jokic, which means when AD can't be the only one boxing people out, right? Like, when you give up 18 second chance points, that's on the guards too, because KCP's going in there, right? All these other guys are going in there. Like, if you're Rui, you got to box out Michael Porter Jr. or Aaron Gordon. Like, that to me is as big a stat that was glaring as any that there was, and LeBron pointed it out in the postgame.
LeBron's 7 turnovers didn't help much either, by the way.
No, he did not have a great floor game. It's particularly later in the game. Yeah.
All right, boys, 5:15 in the Southland, just a few minutes left in the show, and it is time for us to make good that Waba Grill pop quiz from Friday that we screwed up because Cappy's a horrific A.
I still don't think that's the reason.
I think that's the reason.
I don't think so.
So, caller number 7 right now at 877-710-ESPN. Coming up next, we'll play the Waba Grill Pop Quiz of the Week for last week. So, again, we will ask you a question from last week's content and your chance to win dinner for your fam from our friends at Waba Grill.
Bam, for your fam!
Exactly. And now Shadow's going to tell us about our friend, Jacob Emrani.
Yep, let me tell you about Jacob. I'm sure he's excited for tonight's game, but here's the deal. If you're riding in the backseat of an Uber or Lyft and you get into an accident, man, that's completely different than a normal wreck. All right, you get into any accident, but in an Uber or Lyft specifically in this case, you got to call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. Your driver's covered by Uber or Lyft. So not only are you dealing with the other person's insurance, you need to speak to the rideshare company's insurance too. All right? Don't wait on that stuff because you got to call Jacob immediately. Okay? Because you don't want to deal with this. Trust me when I tell you, the last thing you want to do is deal with any of this stuff by yourself, okay? You need an expert. My guy Jacob is the expert when it comes to Uber and Lyft cases. For years, he's been on this stuff well before all these other fly-by-night guys were jumping on these Uber and Lyft cases. So if you're injured in any type of rideshare accident, only one name to remember. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. Guys, a lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. You call Jacob, he'll win for you. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com. All right, parents, here's some fun facts for you here from Children's Dental Fun Zone. First tooth, first visit. Once those teeth pop out, you gotta bring them to Children's Dental Fun Zone. And as far as ortho is concerned, you gotta get those kids here by the age of 8.
on a Monday afternoon. 5:30 p.m. coming up in just a few minutes. The Toyota Lakers countdown to tip-off with Sliwa, as we'll get you ready for Lakers Nuggets. Tip-off at 7 o'clock here on 7:10 a.m. and on the all-new ESPN LA app and crystal clear digital audio. Yesterday, back in 1979, the number one hit, Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood, Jack. That was the remake of the 60s song.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Video's trippy.
Exactly right.
DeAndre, you don't know nothing about no knocking on wood.
I actually heard this song before.
Really?
It's a good song.
Wow.
Day by day, afternoon by afternoon, we will educate producer D on music, and he'll educate us on music, too. That's how it's going to work. You know what I mean?
That's how we do it.
Right now, though, it is time to educate somebody. The Waba Grill pop quiz from last week. We missed Friday because of Cappy's mistake. That's okay, because we're going to do it on a Monday. And Grant Dunn, who's in the city of Burbank. Grant, you there? Oh,
I'm here.
Playing with that phone. Grant, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good Passover coming up here in a few minutes.
Oh, you do?
That's right, brother. That's right. Happy Pesach to you and the family and everybody who's celebrating.
You got
tonight.
the matzah ready?
Oh, we're ready to go.
Beautiful, man.
The matzah bride tomorrow morning. We're ready. We're ready for this.
Oh, it's a matzah fiesta over there.
Nice.
Anyway, time for the Waba Grill pop quiz. Here is the question from last week's content offering of Sedano and Cap. One George Sedano did 2 NBA playoff games, one on radio, one on television. Can you name one of the matchups he covered?
Did you do the New Orleans game?
No,
sorry, bro.
That's unfortunate.
Happy Pesach.
Womp womp.
That's unfortunate. That's
Let's go to our next.
I only got one person, too, because I thought he knew it was so easy.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. I'll screen another one.
Meanwhile,
in the interim.
So let's, if you're calling in now at 877-710-ESPN.
We had all those people calling,
Yeah. So 2 games he did, 2 playoff games, one on radio. On radio, you were doing play-by-play.
Correct.
And then you were doing sidelines on Saturday night on television.
With the great Hubie Brown, Hall of Famer.
And that should sort of give you a hint.
What happened, though, on Friday? You didn't want to play games with us on Friday, huh? You didn't want to get in South-South, Terminal H?
I did get in South-South.
Oh, you did?
I got in South-South Miami. You guys didn't text me very much.
Oh.
So I only got like 1 or 2 texts.
Well, you know, again, everyone's overwhelmed because Cappy's driving the show.
Right.
And he's a really bad A.
I blame DeMarco because I think DeMarco's a really bad B.
No, DeMarco would be a great A, by the
Well,
way.
Mike B.
Mike B. The A next time.
Speaking of A and B,
Yes.
Mike B. in the Sedano and Cap Circle of Trust tweeted that he believes that Morales needs to stop ripping Cappy for being a bad A and worry about some of these fill-in hosts, he says.
Ooh, like who?
I don't know. He just said that. He didn't give like details.
Don't worry about you guys on the COT worrying about the content players, if you will. I mean, what do you want us to do? They're fill-in host.
Wow. What does that mean?
Meaning, like, there's only so many things that we can control. Here's the thing. I love all our fill-in hosts. They all do great jobs. But again, they have time to be able to fill in with us, and they also have other jobs.
Yeah, I think Andy Kamenetsky deserves hazard pay for dealing with the Laker fans
Andy
on Saturday night.
Kamenetsky will get hazard pay over my dead body.
Okay.
Why?
But he had to deal with on Saturday with all those Laker fans after that loss.
We have another player now.
Jose Rodriguez
for
from
the Waba
Anaheim.
Grill Pop. Oh, Anaheim. You on the west or the east, homeboy?
Let's see. Off 91 in Euclid. So
yeah, you on the west right now. That's okay though.
Yeah, you getting ready for Passover tonight, Jose?
All right, Jose. Here we go.
I'm getting ready for the Laker game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, get ready, buddy. For the Waba Grill Pop Quiz from last week, George Sedano worked 2 playoff games, one on television, one on radio for the NBA. Can you name one of the matchups?
Yeah, the hometown broadcast, or his hometown broadcast, Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls.
Yep, that was one of them. That was the one. Yeah,
you got it.
Congratulations, Jose. You win dinner from your family from our friends at Waba Grill, where kids eat free.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
At Waba Grill, any afternoon after 4 p.m. or all weekend long. Restrictions apply. You ever been to a Waba Grill before, sucker?
I sure have.
Oh, beautiful. You
I'll
like
have to
those
stop
boom
by
boom?
right now. Yep.
You like those boom boom tacos?
I haven't tried them, but
try them.
You got it.
Jose,
Oh, delicious.
Jose,
Yeah.
you tell me next time you're in Anaheim, we will meet on the one at State College, and I'll buy you boom boom tacos. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right, Jose. Congratulations,
bro.
Thank
Why
you
don't
for
meet
listening.
on the one on Chapman?
We're gonna put you on hold. Okay.
That's not Anaheim. That's Orange.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you won't go to Orange? You'll only go to Anaheim?
I'll go to Orange.
That's the one I usually stop at.
The city of Orange.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go to the El Torito there all the time.
Yeah, but that's no longer there.
It's not?
It's now an In-N-Out.
An In-N-Out at El Torito?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a big sit-down In-N-Out?
Well, it's an In-N-Out.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like, no drive-through?
No, there's a drive-through.
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
Well, there's several drive-throughs in that strip. It's at
I don't remember
the
there being a bunch of
drive-throughs.
drive-thrus.
There's a Krispy Kreme. There's a Carl's Jr.
Okay.
And now there's an In-N-Out.
The sit-down question's legit, I guess, because there's that In-N-Out off Avery Parkway.
Yeah.
That's only the 2 drive-throughs.
Yeah.
There's really
Well,
not
those
like
are the
a
old.
sit-down.
There's one of those on Brea in Brea on Lambert.
Yeah.
The old school one.
Yeah.
So, Cappy, big deal or no deal? We'll just do an impromptu one here, so we have a short amount of time here before sleep.
90 seconds.
All the home teams won. 6 of the 8 games blowouts. Big deal or no deal in game 1?
I'd say it's kind of a big deal. I mean, the fact that, look, all the home teams winning, yeah, I guess you usually expect 1 or 2 upsets. But I would also say the blowouts. That was kind of the thing that really, especially, on the East. I mean, the blowouts were kind of, it just made basketball unentertaining is really what it did. I mean, like yesterday, that first half between the Clippers and the Mavericks, I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
Now, the game later last night,
Clippers are going to win that series.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Kawhi's not going to play once. They're going to rest him.
It's not going to matter.
They probably should rest him.
He doesn't have to, even though Kyrie blamed Kawhi not being there as the reason they lost. He's like, yeah, with Kawhi not playing, we had to make some adjustments.
Yeah, adjustments to losing.
Okay.
I give James Harden credit. Listen, I even give Russell Westbrook. Brody was going off
Brody was
yesterday.
playing really well. Him and James Harden had a great alley-oop.
Yeah.
Listen, Clippers are dangerous. They're frisky. I told you that in the chat the other day. So, all right, we're done here, Cappy.
We are, but I got to tell everybody about Prize Picks.
Oh,
one
yeah,
more
tell
time.
them about tonight. Yeah.
And here's why. Because with this game coming up, here's what I've done so far. I've got Jokic to go for more than 28 points, which I think he'll do. And I've got LeBron to go for more than 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I've got a second play, which was LeBron from Saturday to get to more than 24.5, so he's already done that. Check that box. And Jokic to get to half a point. So I'll get the win early on that one, but then I need Joker and LeBron to both go off. Keep sending me your Prize Picks on Twitter. I appreciate everybody who's already sent them to me. Use that share button. Download the Prize Picks app. Use my code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. They're going to match your first deposit 100% up to $100, and share your picks in the circle of trust, George. There you go.
Hey, guys, did you know?